all coming. It's going to be a great event.
Love this.
Want to go through a few things. I have to go through the rules because I want to make sure everybody knows that we're going to do a countdown. Once we do the countdown, we will put together open the bag. Please just put the bag on the ground and the bag, the plastic bag that comes with it. It'll be, we'll come through and we'll pick it up. The floor monitors are over here doing their homework, so they are going to be ready. They will be watching every move you make. They'll also, if you need something, please go to them. And when you get finished, if you're missing a piece or it has fallen on the floor or something like that, don't worry. It's only a 10-second penalty if you can't find it. Try to find it, but if you don't, it's only a 10-second penalty. This is a 1,000-piece puzzle, and it is, I think, something that you guys will enjoy. Does anybody have any questions? So there's 200 people in here and nobody has a question.
Wow.
There we go. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary.
Let's do it.
All right. I know we've gone through that a few times. So what we're going to do now is go through the list of the teams that are here, and if you're quiet when we announce your name, you have to leave. So, all right. Here we go. There's Carly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carly Craig, your co-host, and congratulations. Welcome to the team finals. Love the energy in the room. Let's get started in meeting our teams. At table 1, we have Baja. We're going to have a Baja blast, that's for sure. Table 2, Control, Alt, Assemble. At table 3, we've got Girls in STEM. Girls in STEM. Table 4, we've got Damn It, Fit. Table 5, we have A Piece of Our Mind. 6, we've got the Puzzle Sharks. Table 7, we have Changing Corners. At table 8, we've got Takes All Sorts. Table 9, we have Blem-ish. Love the energy. Table 10, we have Squirrely Puzzling. Table 11, we've got the Puzzling Escape Artists. At table 12, we've got Keep Calm and Puzzle On. 13, Random Cuts. 14, Dissectology Queens. Table 15, we have Rest in Pieces. Table 16, we have Puzzle Jail. Table 17, we have Peace Out. At table 18, we have Get Jiggy with It. With it, with no H. Table 19, we have WAP. At table 20, we've got 4 out of 4 corners. 21, we've got Flippin' Pieces. At 22, we've got Peace Out. 23, we have Edgelords with a Z. Table 24, we have 37.5. Table 25, we've got Always on Edge. Table 26, we have Baballs. Table 27, we have Gin and Jigsaw. Table 28, we have Gooby Team. Table 29, we have Hot Dog Champs. Table 30, I thought you said 500 pizzas. Table 31, we've got Jack. All caps. Table 32, Jigsaw Junkies. At table 33, we have the joyous Jigsaw Jamboree. Table 34, one of my personal faves, Mission Impossible. At table 35, we've got Mr. Pool Can Be So Annoying. Table 36, we've got Practically Perfect Puzzlers times 4. Table 37, Puzzle Hawks. Table 38, Puzzle Jamboree. At table 39, we've got Puzzle Pitches. Table 40, we've got Puzzled, So Are We. At table 41, we've got Puzzling Evidence. Love that. Table 42, we've got Sibling Puzzlery. 43, Texas Jigsaw Massacre. Popular team, it seems. Table 44, Tortured Puzzlers Department. Table 45, we have Under Siege 3, The Puzzlers. Looks like at table 46, we've got another WAP. Table 47, the West Lindsay Trading Co. And table 48, World Peace. Congratulations, everybody, and I'll pass it back to Lane for our grand countdown.
Okay, are you ready? No? Are you guys ready? Okay, here we go. Stand by. Ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
We are off to the races here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters Team Final, meaning we have 4 competitors at each table. Rob, how are we feeling about this final?
I'm super excited about this final. We got some strong players. I'm Rob Shields. With me, obviously, Kaylee Craig.
Carly Craig, very, very close. It has been a long day.
A lot of puzzling. And then we have with us remotely our expert for the first hour, Michaela Keener. Michaela, are you there?
Calling Michaela. Maybe Michaela's not yet with us.
There we
there
go.
she is.
Hey,
Hello,
Michaela.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing great.
I'm great.
Thanks for joining us. I like your puzzle background.
Of course, had to be in the puzzle room.
Yeah, not just your aesthetic puzzle background, but your background in puzzling. So I'm so excited to, so excited to meet you. Are you having a bit of FOMO looking here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters?
Oh, some of the puzzles have not looked very fun, honestly.
Okay.
But this one, I do have FOMO on this one. This one's beautiful.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at it here. So we've got I haven't even gotten a glimpse of it just yet. But it looks like it's a bunch of kitty cats.
Cats in boxes.
Cats in boxes. Very sweet. And not any boxes, but puzzle boxes. How sweet is that?
Michaela, what about this one speaks to you?
Well, I love that you can just grab a single color like that blue box and that green box stand out to me so fast. But then I love that there's puzzle pieces in the white space because this puzzle's gonna fly. I mean, girls in STEM, let's be honest, they're probably our number one who we expect to win today.
Right.
And they're just gonna fly through this based off of what they've been doing previously in their practice.
Yeah, what do you, so if you think that they're going to fly through it already, what do you think that they might hit this at?
Ooh, 35 to 37?
35, so you think it's going to be that fast?
Yeah, I mean, they've been pulling sometimes, 48s and whatnot, but this, to me, looks very colorful, very fast.
It does lend itself to a divide and conquer approach.
Exactly. They can take it, just take a section, call what color stands out to them, and put it together as they go.
Wow. And we're seeing so much camaraderie out here. I'm loving all of the, on the floor here, we can see Puzzle Jail has their team uniform. We've got a couple team uniforms across the board. Can you speak a little bit to the camaraderie that you see in the puzzle community?
Oh, yeah. The puzzle community is the nicest community. Obviously, we're all here to compete, but everyone is so nice and going to Worlds in 2023 was one of the coolest things, just to see like everyone that you've talked to online, especially after COVID. You've probably been talking to some people for years, and that's how Nationals was this year for me, since that was my first big national competition as
Sure.
well. But
Yep. Michaela,
all of the talking.
for those people who don't know you, maybe give us a quick background just so that everybody can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, my name's Michaela Keener. I am Puzzle Problem on Instagram. I have been speed puzzling since 2016.
Wow, an
And-
early adopter.
Gee, yeah.
Yep. And I won the inaugural USA JPA event back in 2020 and went to Worlds in 23 and took second in the world for teams and pairs and 17th in individuals that year.
Amazing.
Yeah, and how did you do at the Nationals this year?
Oh, seventh individually, seventh in teams. Half of my team is actually there this weekend, and I know
Oh,
EB was
fantastic.
on previously. And then fifth as pairs with EB. So
Fantastic.
Yeah, half of your team is on Baja, is that right? The Baja team with
Yes.
Jessa and Becca? So that'd
yes,
be
Andrea and Allie.
Andrea and Allie. So subtly rooting for them, not so subtly rooting for them?
Oh, of course I'm rooting for them, especially after Andrea's amazing first place yesterday in individual prelim 1.
And you can see here on the live stream that the girls in STEMP, they are actually live streaming their own table. They have their phone all propped up and set up. And, you know, that's just for all the fans. It's for all of the fans of the girls in STEMP. It seems like, especially within the puzzle community, everybody is very supportive of one another. We have lots of people cheering each other on in the chat here on our YouTube channel, Portland Jigsaw Masters. So I would love to know, kind of, as you look at a 1,000-piece puzzle, typically how long would it take for somebody to complete this on their own versus in a team?
Something this is like this that's so colorful and easy to break apart for the fastest is probably an hour and a half. My guess would be hour 20 to hour 40 is probably where you're going to see most of those top competitors put this together. The random cut could slow it down a little bit since it is Cobble Hill, but
We were
with how
looking at the
bright
cut.
it is.
We were looking at the
Right.
cut earlier, and it's well, actually, this is probably an entirely different cut. The 500 cuts they've been using are very grid cut looking, with just some minor exceptions. So it will be interesting to see if this one looks that same way.
Yeah, that's not typical Cobble Hill. I
Yeah.
feel like
We did
they're
do a
changing
lot of
up on us.
Yeah, we did do a lot of talking about sort of the shapes of the pieces, and depending on the puzzle, you know, they can be a little more unconventional, a little more standard, and that sort of spills into the excitement when you open a puzzle. And if you recognize a certain cut, something that you're familiar with, then that can really help set you up for success when you're competing.
Yeah, I personally love random cuts, so I always enjoy opening up a box and not having an idea of what the grid cut is actually going to be like, or the jig cut.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm watching a lot of different folks get this sort of stood up, and we're seeing some people who are just jumping right into the middle, people who are doing sorts. We're seeing the use of trays, which we're going to see more of in this competition than we probably have in the prior competitions.
Right.
Allows folks to move things around. One of the things that I always lose track of with a 1,000-piece puzzle is the fact that, you know, if you're used to doing 500-piece puzzles and you look at the picture on the box, you're like, oh, I can put that together pretty quickly. Those pieces come together. But realizing that there's a lot more density, a lot more pieces per image you're seeing there, it increases the complexity by quite a lot if you're not paying attention to the fact that, you know, where you've moved up to a higher piece count. So any one of these pieces, sorry, Michaela, any one of these images is still going to be a fair number of pieces.
Yeah, I was trying to count. We have what, a 4x4 design. So
Yeah.
if you do the math on that quick, you can't do it that quick.
Right.
That's 16 sections. What's 1,000 divided by 16? I can't do that math, people.
I'm getting okay at math over the course of the weekend because of our amazing graphics from the Jacob providing us with lots of statistics and some math, but that's not my strong suit either. But I'm sure we could bust out a calculator here. I'll take that over, Rob.
I'm going to guess the chat probably has already answered that or may have.
Oh yeah, I'll just ask the chat. Can somebody please divide?
That's about 50, right? So 20 into 1,000-ish.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 50 pieces per, a little under.
A little under with just the white space. I'm finally looking at the picture a little closer on my own phone. Yeah, I'd say probably 45 pieces a cat box, roughly.
And so typically when you open a puzzle, do you feel that you get a rush of joy as other competitors have described when you see a boldly colorful puzzle?
Oh, absolutely, especially in a competition and especially in individuals. I love bright colors. So I would have been ecstatic, especially if this was 500. This would have flown. I mean, that's how I felt
Sure.
at Nationals this year with that very colorful puzzle. But as a team, I mean, you can have one person just start talking through what they're seeing in the different color boxes. And this is a very pretty puzzle. So I think it'll go really fast, as I already said.
Absolutely. And once again, they are assembling a Cobble Hill puzzle, of course, one of our sponsors today here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. We have an 1,000-piece puzzle with a random cut, and it seems like people are dividing and conquering, that's for sure. We have our people on the floor here that are sort of taking over a color at a time. So it seems like they're sort of operating by assembling different cats and different boxes all separately and sorting by color.
Michaela, in teams, do you typically expect to be in a particular position by a particular amount of time, or is it really dependent on the puzzle?
I feel like it depends on the puzzle. It's not like in individuals where you kind of know you want your flip to be so fast and you want to have your border. If you're doing border first, you want so many pieces done by a certain time. I don't even pay attention to the time usually. Like, there's so many things going on. You have to be talking to your teammates. So unless someone is literally being like looking at their watch saying, hey, we're 5 minutes in, usually I have no concept of what time it actually is, because it's not like I'm listening to music that might give me a sense of how far into the competition we are.
Yeah, we were talking with some folks earlier, and they were talking about how during the pairs competitions, the puzzles have been fast enough that there really hasn't been a lot of table talk between them. But with a team, is there a lot more talk going on, a lot more coordination that has to happen?
Oh, yes. I was on Karen Puzzle's team for Worlds, and so she was mic'd up, and Valentina, her camera lady, who's amazing, was talking about how much we were talking compared to some of the other teams. We were just nonstop talking. And even in pairs, we do that, especially the 1,000-piece pairs at Worlds that year. I think Sarah Schuler and we were going delusional by the end of the night with that crazy box skyline.
Right.
But it's a lot of talking, especially with something like this, because the fast teams are going to be putting, a box together pretty fast, and they're going to have to be figuring out who's doing which box next, which cat next, what way they're going to orient this puzzle, etc.
Absolutely. And so we actually do have our very own Allegra from Cobble Hill Puzzles here with us. Go ahead and speak right into that microphone. So tell us a little bit about this puzzle today.
Well, it's by
let me make sure your mic is on.
Sorry.
We're going to get her a hot mic. Just a moment.
Yep.
Yep, go ahead and speak right into that mic.
Okie dokie. It's by a young artist named Michelle Simpson. I'm very excited to have found her because she, I believe, has never been in puzzles before. So that's
Right.
super exciting. And we're actually launching 5 titles by her. I don't usually invest that deeply in an artist, but I loved her work. So this is the 1,000-piece Michelle Simpson called Cats versus Puzzles. And we sold out of our Cats versus Plants, which is available in the 500. And then in the family piece count, which I can explain what that is if people don't know.
Sure.
We have mercats, which is super adorable as well.
Mercats.
Yes, it's mermaids that are actually cats. And so we have 3 cat puzzles by this artist. And we will very shortly have 2 floor puzzles for children that she did complete scenes. And I haven't had the opportunity to meet Michelle. So what I know is that she grew up near Niagara Falls. She's Canadian. And she did, I believe, some training as an animator. So I think that shows through in her illustration. They're very lively
Definitely.
and full of character. Yeah.
Especially the mercats. Wow, how fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and shout that artist out one more time so everyone can check out her work.
Michelle Simpson.
Michelle Simpson.
Yeah. Available only through Cobble Hill Puzzles.
Right?
Nice, you're getting great at this.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. And, cats and puzzles. I mean, where can you go wrong? Also, we added a little, rainbow-ish approach too. So
For sure. And what is the name exactly of this puzzle?
cats versus puzzles.
Cats
Who will
versus
win? Because if you've ever tried to do a puzzle with a cat in the room, you probably know that can be complicated.
And as a matter of fact, we did have somebody comment earlier in the chat that we got on the topic of losing pieces and how sometimes they can get misplaced. And one of our viewers here mentioned that they have a cat that would always come in and sort through the puzzle themselves, and the pieces would stick to her.
Very helpful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. So, and we can see here on the floor, lots of teamwork happening. I've seen some shots of some sorting trays out there. And Allegra, I mean, how would you describe the energy in the room right now?
Oh, seems good to me. I loved the reaction when they opened the puzzle. There seemed to be a reaction. It seemed positive.
Somebody's got
And
snacks.
we've got some Twizzlers on the
Yes.
floor as well.
Yes.
Very good. Very smart.
Highly unusual.
Yeah, very smart.
Got to keep your sugar up.
Yep, got to keep your sugar up because after all, this is a sport. It is a sport that requires a lot of endurance, a lot of focus. And we've got them, it seems, sorting by color, and each of them are sort of tackling their own cat in a box.
Yeah, and that was deliberate because we did choose this one for speed puzzling, and so we deliberately went and recolored the boxes. They were originally all craft colored, so we went in and made them a variety of.
You were
colors
listening
choose
to your
from.
audience because it seems
Our
that
best, yeah.
all of the speed puzzlers really do prefer the bright colors and having that extra added challenge.
Yeah, color blocking.
Color blocking, indeed. Fantastic. And how are you feeling about overall about the event this weekend, the competition?
Oh, it's been amazing to watch. This is only the second speed puzzling event that I have attended, and this time I got to be a little closer and see it in action, and that's been amazing. And it's great to be able to speak to people and hear what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy.
Fantastic.
And soak all that information in.
Do we still have Michaela with us?
We do.
Okay, Michaela, do you have any questions for Allegra of Cobble Hill Puzzles?
No, honestly, I love all the information she gave.
Great.
So,
Yeah.
do you, when you get a piece of art like this, did you need to work with the artist to fill in, for example, the puzzle pieces,
Yes.
to give it a little more ability to be puzzled?
Yeah. So originally, this was a collection of art. It's not that it was a single piece
Got
per
it.
se. She had developed them as like pennies and stickers and different, uses, and then she put them together in a poster, and it was vertical. And I've been told that for speed puzzling, horizontal is better. Although I see people rotate their boxes vertically, so it makes me wonder. But anyways, side top. So it came as craft and plain, and there was no puzzle component, and so I asked her if we could add that. So we added little puzzle piece motifs to the side of the boxes, and of course we worked in a Cobble Hill logo and a few Cobble
Yes.
Hill references
Got it.
because we can.
Yeah.
And she added a lot more of the puzzle pieces, and then we took some of those and recolored them and made even more puzzle pieces.
We do love the attention to detail and that we listen to our speed puzzlers because it is for the puzzlers by the puzzlers, it seems. That everybody has a shared appreciation.
And I can tell you why they are moving their box vertical. It's in the right orientation
Yeah.
based on where it is in the table. So
Yeah,
A
and
lot
that
of
makes
people-
sense. Yeah.
a lot of people, right, like if I'm doing a puzzle upside down, I don't want the box so it's sideways. I want it so it's the same orientation for me. So that's why you usually see some teams do that.
So my question for you is, does that mean vertical puzzles would work in speed puzzling?
It probably would work really well for teams because you would do it how a lot of teams or how pairs do it, where you have it like horizontal between you, so you're each on an edge. Neither you is up or down. It's you're both seeing it from the same angle essentially. So it would definitely switch it up. We really haven't seen that yet. And yesterday, I know at some point during the live stream, there was talk of putting the brand name on the puzzle itself. And here, as you mentioned, you have the Cobble Hill logo as part of one of the boxes that the cat's sitting in. So I love that.
Yeah, several of the boxes. Yeah, I thought that was real clever.
Absolutely. And we're having some commenters here on our live stream saying that they always bring a tub of red vines to their competition, and that people do, they're asking about some puzzle safe snacks. So if you have any puzzle safe snacks that you enjoy, feel free to drop them in the chat. Michaela, how about you? Do you have any puzzle safe snacks that you enjoy when you're speed puzzling?
I do not eat while I speed puzzle. I don't have time.
You don't have the
You
hands
walked
off.
right into something there.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
the puzzle community.
I mean,
go ahead, Michaela.
we had the team puzzle or team no snacks previously. That was part of my world's team.
That is
EB
funny.
And Dan and Sarah Schuler, and I believe I don't remember who the fourth was on that team. Sorry.
Can you tell us where that comes from? Because it has a background.
So I honestly don't know why they picked it, but it had to do with the fact you didn't want crumbs in your puzzle, and that was when they were still doing the marathon phase of teams. So I think it was just, we're powering through this. There's no time for snacks.
My recollection is that it's from the classic movie documentary Wicker Kittens, where they made a reference to if you like, there's no snacks, you don't have time for snacks. You got to be puzzling. If you bring snacks, you're not serious.
Interesting.
I have to be honest. I've never seen Wicker Kittens. I'm a terrible speed puzzler.
What?
I've never seen Wicker Kittens.
Me either.
Don't you know almost everybody in that?
Yeah, I do.
I
But
suppose-
I haven't.
You just ask them to live play it. By the way, this is the team that I would be puzzling on if I was puzzling today. My daughter there on the back left is taking my place. This is Flipping Pieces, representing Peace Talks merch, as well as the Flipping Pieces. We, several years ago, went with very bright neon colors so that whenever we were in the background of really great players, we could see ourselves on the live stream.
Oh, yeah.
So that was our strategy.
That's so funny.
We've seen a lot of teams adopt that. So now we have to go find a different color palette.
We've got some amazing names here today. We went and rattled them off in the introduction. Of course, a lot of you here on the live stream did get to catch that bit. And I have to say, Dissectology Queens, I mean, I think that that's a really creative name. We've got all sorts of creative work happening and lots of teamwork happening as well, Rob. I'm seeing, things are coming together. I see some borders being constructed. Some of the edges are being assembled at this very moment.
Yeah. Anything else, Allegra, before we let you go?
I'm good. Any other questions I can answer about Cobble Hill?
How are you doing back there at your booth? Are people coming by and checking out your puzzles?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Great.
Flying off the shelves here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. Allegra of the Cobble Hill Puzzle Company, thank you so much for joining us.
Great. Cheers.
Yes.
So the Dissectology Queens is actually a combination of two Portland teams, the Dissectologists and the Puzzle Queens.
Oh.
So two mother-daughter teams that have come together.
Oh, how lovely.
So that's what Dissectology being the fancy word for jigsaw puzzling.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So Michaela, are you seeing anything out there as we've been talking that is worth commenting on?
Honestly, not yet.
What would you expect to be seeing at this point?
Yeah, what do we typically see at the 21-minute mark as far as teams go? Are we keeping pace here?
I haven't seen where girls in STEM are, so it's hard to know really what the pace is for them. If we could get a shot of them, that would be very helpful.
It looks like they're over here by our stage, and we're seeing kind of chunks of sections starting to come together. I gotta say, I just love the teamwork.
I mean, I can't see what you're seeing, but that sounds right, that we would be starting to see some good sections coming together.
Yep, we're getting a camera over there to them right now so we can get a nice tight shot of girls in STEM. They are live streaming to their fans as well.
You ask, we make it happen, Michaela.
That's right. And that's thanks to the AV department here running our live stream, getting us the camera angles we need here at Avenue Portland at the Portland Jigsaw Masters.
Yeah, they have some great progress there.
Yeah,
I
lots
mean,
of
real
Real
islands.
sections being
Blocks
assembled.
together.
Yeah, so they're getting themselves a lot of things to build off of, which hopefully they can bring together. Do you think that everybody's sort of picking a box color and running with it?
Yeah, it looks that way. I mean, the fact that they've gotten so many big color blocks and there's a lot of yellow on the tray right there.
Wow, all these cat boxes are really coming together here. Michaela, you called it. You said girls in STEM.
Oh yeah. I was thinking that it would be great if this was named "If I Fit, I Sit" because cats always have boxes.
Oh,
We-
that is so funny.
We had a pairs team, I believe, that had that name or a version of that.
I think my favorite name, and same for SoCal Speed Puzzler in here in the chat, is I thought you said 500 pizzas. I thought that was a very funny
I saw a
name.
lot of people laugh at that.
Yeah, there were some good ones. So not only girls in STEM, but we have this other team here. I'm not sure exactly the name.
This is Control Alt Assemble. We've
Control
got
Alt Assemble.
Rebecca and Jessica Streitz, Irina and Diana.
Wow, lots of
Team
all
four.
stars on this
Yeah, so
team.
this is a power team in and of themselves.
Absolutely.
Looks like though maybe Girls in STEM had a few more things going box wise.
Yeah,
gotta
Girls in
say-
STEM definitely had it closer together and maybe some more connections. They definitely also had really all the big boxes and cats put together, it looks like, besides the one corner.
I saw a lot of several shots of people just pulling oh, there it is right there. As a matter of fact, the edges just got pulled out and set aside. So the edges got a lot of white in them. And where they don't have white in them, they have random jigsaw puzzles. So just getting them out of the way so that you can focus on the other pieces.
Yeah, definitely. This is something you'd work from the center outward, so it makes sense to get those edge pieces out of the way. So once they get to a good point, they can throw those together or have a single person start throwing them together while they finish up those connecting white sections that connect each of the boxes.
I do love how Allegra was speaking on that they really listen to the puzzle community and curated this puzzle specifically for the Portland Jigsaw Masters and adding all of the colors and adding all of the tiny little puzzle pieces and making it more custom and curated for our speed puzzlers. We know now that they really do appreciate the colorful details and attention to detail in the illustrations. So thank you to the Cobble Hill Puzzle Company for their attention to detail there. We have some edges over here. We're flipping around.
Now I love this. I saw this earlier. A team brought a musical stand so that they could
Smart.
put the poster up on it.
Very nice. Nicely done.
Which is a variation on the twist or the tape on the poster on the box that we've been seeing. So here's Baja with Andrea, Ali, Becca, and Jessa.
They seem to be having a Baja blast.
I love their shirts.
Very nice shirts.
Their shirts are very fun. They have a different approach. They have a lot of the border together.
They do.
But they also have Becca, who loves doing solid color type things. So
True.
maybe that is part of the decision to have someone working on those borders.
Yeah, because the borders can be useful. I mean, I personally love a border in terms of defining the space.
Sure.
But if you're a person like Becca who does like those color blocks and you can get it stood up pretty quickly, that seems like a good investment. I do wonder if you could apply that same color block capability to boxes of cats. Does that apply, Michaela, or are they too different conceptually?
They're just such small color blocks compared
fair.
to what I think of a normal color block. I mean, I remember the first time Becca did the car puzzle that's like pink and green and a blue car, maybe.
Sure.
And her time on it was just insane.
Yeah, because you get a big color block in front of her and she just cruises.
Yeah. Or she loves, the one with all the fur or very repetitive designs. That is her jam, and I appreciate her for that.
Yeah, she's a great complement to a lot of other people's styles because she has some capabilities and some preferences that don't hit what a lot of puzzlers want to be doing.
Definitely.
We saw the blemish there. It looked like they were making some good progress.
What an amazing sight to see here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. We've got all these teams really working, really collaborating, lots of adrenaline pumping through the veins of many of these teams, especially over here. We're looking at Baja and our other team, Control Alt Assemble. They seem to be close to the front runners, very close to Girls in STEM. I believe that we've got a tight angle on Girls in STEM, and we're seeing a full picture come together, Rob.
Yeah, you can't see all the pieces down to the bottom, so I don't have a full sense of how much they have left, but the actual pile across the top is smaller than I would have expected.
Wow. I love the focus. I love the determination. The camaraderie is really a sight to see. And everybody's shared love for this sport and really this art form. I know that we keep describing it as a sport, but it is an art in itself to be working symbiotically with others and communicate. It's a true collaboration, which I feel is very artistic in a lot of ways.
Michaela, once you've got the major boxes done, as it looks like the Girls in STEM largely did, then it's a matter of kind of finding the connective pieces and putting the edge around that. Is that a different mode of approach, or is that just like everybody picks up what they're doing and starts working on the rest of the puzzle?
I'm trying to figure out, it does look like it could be a little muddy on the edges, but the color might actually help them figure out how to connect those boxes together. And like I said, having all those colorful pieces, yeah, they're the same colors, so there's only 3 or 4 different colors those pieces are in between. But that gives them a lot of information. If they have a little blue and then a puzzle piece, it's probably going to go right by, that blue box. So
Yeah, they each have a little halo around them, and some of the halos have the same sort of color. But I was surprised at Nationals how, like, there was a fish puzzle, there's a number of puzzles where people just can pick up on the subtlest clues as to how to relate a piece to where it goes. So as you said, there's a lot of information in here, especially that elite level puzzlers are going to be able to clue in on.
yeah, definitely. So I think we'll see them continue to move pretty quick throughout this puzzle with all, like she was talking about, they made sure there was a lot of detail, a lot of bright color. And as we've said, speed puzzlers, especially US speed puzzlers, love bright colors and busy puzzles.
So you've puzzled with Ariel and Andrea, or Ali and Andrea. Tell me a little bit about what their puzzling approach is like.
Well, it was the first time that Ali was actually puzzling with anyone, because she's from Hawaii, and so she didn't really have anyone to practice with before nationals. And so we were able to do practice with 3 of us. Evie wasn't there the night before our prelim for teams, and we kind of had to remind her, like, hey, you have a team now. You don't have to do something. Like, if you're getting stuck,
Sure.
let me know. So I think she was like, oh, right. If something's not
And it
sticking,
clicked.
I have to do it. And Andrea was really good at a pick and place method, which, coming down to it, that might help a lot on this puzzle with all those different pieces in the center.
Do you find pick and places people who are really good at that are good at that in a wide variety of circumstances? Like, it seems like we're talking about picking and placing in a relatively low information area of the puzzle. Are they still able to carry that across?
Like you were saying, there's these little details that people pick up on. And so I think Andrea is really good at picking up that little detail that helps her figure out roughly where it's going to be, and that's going to draw her eye to a certain part of the puzzle box or the puzzle itself to be able to place it really quick.
We do have some viewers here in the chat asking about the puzzle sharks to see what their details or that their progress as they move along with this detailed puzzle. I can't quite catch a view, but maybe we can get a camera over there sooner than later over to the puzzle sharks. And then we were discussing, Michaela, a lot about these teams and these individual competitors that have their own mascots. Do you happen to work with a mascot when you're competing?
Not to the extent that most people are starting to work with mascots, but at nationals, I did bring my little miniature dachshund with me, who is kind of what I travel with in general because I have 2 dachshunds at home. So, and an Australian Shepherd. I should say that.
Sure,
I have
sure.
Don't want to
dogs.
leave somebody out.
No. But so I have a little dachshund that I travel with at all times. So I happened to bring that to sit on my table for individuals this past nationals. That was
Very
the first.
sweet. Very nice. Yeah, we've seen all sorts of different critters out here. We've got an owl or two. I think there's either a groundhog or a guinea pig of sorts over here on the left. And so for those of you just tuning in, the purpose of the mascot is for emotional support. Or if you just need to decompress for a moment and, confide in your mascot as you puzzle, clear your head for a couple seconds, that's what they're there for.
So I'm seeing a couple of teams who have shifted around people around the table. Michaela, does that happen terribly much in your experience when you're puzzling?
Oh, yeah, especially for teams. Just getting a different view on the puzzle. All of a sudden, you might be slowing down and you switch positions, and all of a sudden, it's like another boost to your performance in my mind. It might take some people a moment to get reoriented where they are, but to me, it just helps see it from a different side and be like, oh, that's where the piece I had earlier that I didn't know where it was goes.
Sure.
Yeah, sometimes it's surprising how just a change of perspective unlocks a whole thing. Just like you said, we use that on our team a fair amount. We move around and try and get different perspectives when we get stuck, but often the elite level folks are just heads down, like hands of fury all the time. So I didn't know if that came up as often.
Oh, I think it definitely happens a fair amount.
So as you can see here on the live stream, lots of energy in the room, lots of buzzing around, a lot of chatter, a lot of communication. We have a couple teams working a bit more quietly, but then, we click over here to Girls in STEM, and they are buzzing through this puzzle, really going for the gold here, really hoping to take that title.
Yeah, they keep catching my eye off the right-hand side of our table here in that they have sort of that final few minutes energy. I don't think they're in the final few minutes yet, but they seem to be moving in the way that people who are in the final few minutes have that kind of extra boost. So it keeps catching my eye. I'm like, oh, are they about done? I mean, they're moving really fast.
If I had to guess, they've got about 40 pieces left.
See if we can, it looks like we're going to get a higher camera angle on that, so we'll be able to get a better shot of that.
Yep, that's Girls in STEM. Really going for it. All right, here we are. So as you can see, there's a big handful of pieces here on the bottom of the frame, but it looks like for the most part, they're just filling in the gaps.
It was interesting seeing Chloe doing the open hand tray method there for a second there, where she just had a bunch of pieces in her open hand and was sort of close to the board. So she's using them, but not wanting to close the hand so that other people can't see them.
Sure.
It's one of the things that I feel like I hear discussed a fair amount about teams who are moving into the elite level is how to make sure that you're not blocking other people from pieces.
Right.
Are there approaches, Michaela, that you use to make sure that you're not keeping pieces from other people, or do you just define responsibilities so that doesn't happen?
I think just piece management. So you can see they had pieces in their hand, on the trays, on the table, and that makes it easier for everyone to see them. But at the same time, when it's that spread out, sometimes it can also make it more difficult for Hannah reaching over to the other side trying to find a piece. The sooner they can get all of those pieces onto a board or two, it's probably going to help them a lot. Oh, Irina's team.
Yeah, the Control-Alt-Assemble has made some really great progress here.
Yes, they have.
It seems that they're really using these sorting boards to their advantage.
Yeah, they have all of the edge still off to the one side, and the Girls in STEM pads, the edge sort of also being integrated. So it's a little hard for me to tell exactly how they are relative to each other, but they're making great progress.
They are.
Yeah. Go ahead, Michaela.
We have about 50 pieces left in terms of the actual center, and then getting that border on, as you discussed yesterday in the stream a little bit. That's roughly, 15-20% of the puzzle is the border.
Right. And it seems that, the cats for the most part are assembled, but it's really just filling in those blank spaces in between because a lot of those puzzle pieces that are floating in that white space, they do look pretty similar. And it's really not apparent exactly where they fall in the puzzle. But I imagine that they're probably going to use this gradient as a reference point for the spillover from the box illustration. That's what it seems like is happening here.
Exactly. This is looking back over at the
Baja.
Baja team. Yeah, in a way, they seem like they have a more leisurely pace going on here. I mean, maybe that's related to the shirts that they've brought with them and the general Baja attitude. But when we see the Control-Alt assembled and the girls in step, they seem to be higher energy, which doesn't always translate to higher speed, but in this case, seems like it might.
It looks like we've got a question in the chat here from a Lee Williams. Do teams have specialists like a closer that are really good at getting in those last few pieces?
Michaela,
Yeah, it depends. It depends the puzzle. There's definitely times where, especially if you have a lot of pieces in the exact same spot, where having 8 hands is not going to help. You might have already discussed, like, okay, if it's like a color block and you had Becca on your team, you'd probably want her to be one of your 2 closers. You usually kind of let people step off, especially if you have really just a single hole. Here, where you have so many different holes because it's all white that's in between those boxes and the border, they can continue to work all together on this at the same time.
I've seen some teams where a person will intentionally step out when it comes to the last flurry of activity because, as you said, they're all in the same place. Is that a coordinated activity, or is that just generally like some people know that to excuse themselves, they're seeing where things are going, they're just going to get out of the way?
It's usually coordinated, especially because, like I said, it depends what your strengths are. So, like Sarah Schuler and I are very good at very busy puzzles, versus Karen was very good at Sky. So with or solid colors. So some of the puzzles we were doing at Worlds, if it was a busier puzzle, maybe Karen or EB would take a step out and let Sarah and I just slam those last 20 pieces. But if it was a Sky, we might back off and let Karen do her thing.
Yeah, it looks like that might be what's happening over here with girls in STEM. We heard some giggles and some commotion from the other side of the room, but they're sort of transferring pieces between sorting boards and handing them off to one another. And it seems like some teammates are kind of taking over this moment in time for them. So we've got our camera floating back over to girls in STEM. They're looking pretty promising here, per your prediction, Michaela.
Little over, but still pretty close. That white space, and like I said, there is some random cut, but overall, it's not the typical crazy random cut you see from Cobble Hill sometimes.
Yeah,
sure.
So, is this them? Yeah, they're moving quick
this
still.
Is them.
Wow, this is so fun to watch. And they're really just filling in those gaps. We have other teammates sort of tackling more of the edges, of course, using those sorting boards to their advantage.
They look like they're at an all-hands-on-deck sort of approach to these things, where they just have a bunch of random pieces that need to go in a bunch of random holes.
Yeah, so as long as they're not getting into each other's way, they're all going to keep steaming, powering through this.
We got the dissectologist queens on screen and the blemish team there as well.
I got to say, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm really, really interested to see how Girls in STEM pulls through here, but Baja not far behind as far as I can see.
Yeah, but they have that whole edge they haven't tackled yet, and I feel like they're not as far in, like they have the same amount of middle pieces here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the girls in STEM, a far shot, kind of hard to see.
Yep, we're getting the camera
to get
over
a good
there.
camera angle because the volunteers are doing their job.
Yep.
They're standing over, making sure the times get recorded. As I was talking to a volunteer earlier today, it's definitely the most important job here. And so we like to get you good footage, but sometimes the volunteers have the higher priority.
This is definitely a nail biter moment to piggyback off of Nikita here in the chat. It's so true. we are
Yeah.
down to the final moments here for girls
This
in
would be a
STEM.
great time to get a split. It looks like I was going to say the Baja's got that kind of end of action flurry going on, but it looks like
Right.
we still got a ways to go. So now we're focused just on kind of getting those edge pieces together.
So I see that they're putting the sorting board right on top of the center of the puzzle where they finish everything, and they're sort of using that as their anchor as they branch out and sort of pull the pieces that they think belong to their side of the puzzle. This is really teamwork at its finest.
Yeah, they're making it so everyone can reach those pieces super easy.
Yep.
Yeah, this kind of approach is something that I only learned this last year, I feel like, is I don't know why it never occurred to me to put a tray right in the middle, especially when most of the middle is done and everybody can work from the side, but it was a bit of a revelation.
We're learning so much here at the
Yeah.
Portland Jigsaw Masters.
Yeah, maybe we can get a couple of the teams' table shots up.
I think Girls in STEM is about to pull through. If we could cut back to them, it looks like they maybe have about 20 pieces left, roughly. Oh, there's some on the sides as well. So they're creating a little puzzle jail, like we talked about earlier, a puzzle piece that doesn't quite fit exactly where they expected it to, so it's getting tossed to the side.
Yeah, Michaela, any idea why they would have those pieces off to the side over there when they're doing such a good job with the center?
It might be the remaining edge pieces. Usually, I feel like EB, especially in pairs a couple times this past year, was like, I don't know where this went, and handed it to me, and I was able to place it. So I am a
Sure.
little surprised that they have them in a little jail over there, but it could be their edge pieces.
I do love that. I've heard a couple of people say that they just hand pieces to other people. They're like, your problem, go deal with it.
Right. And we've got, I don't know that you can exactly see it on the live stream, but we've got quite a bit of spectators gathering around Girls in STEM. We have a couple of cameras. I know that we have a documentarian here who's capturing this event. They're honed in on the Girls in STEM. Same thing with our Cobble Hill representative, Linda.
Look at those hands go. They're just gotta, like, that's another thing that you're just constantly doing is you're trying to dodge hands. And we've seen a couple of times where people reach in at the same time, hit hands, and you just got to keep moving.
That's why practicing together is such an important part of team and pairs, is just learning
Yeah.
how to work with each other.
Look at
Oh,
that.
yeah, we got
See
place
Caitlin
switching.
Caitlin just
Tossed her to
lift
the
and
side.
shifted Chloe there.
Yep.
And that's the kind of thing where you're like, as Michaela said, you do it enough that you all know what you're doing, and there's no apologies needed. You're just kind of getting to where that you can maximize everybody's moments, like skills right
Strengths.
at this moment. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So I wonder
Yeah,
if
we
they're
always
going
say
to...
there's no sorries in speed puzzling. You can't
That's right.
stop and say sorry if you hit someone.
That's right.
So at this rate, I think that they might be coming in before the 47-minute mark.
Oh, yeah, I think they're
Absolutely. They're moments away. Girls
Yeah.
in STEM here. Yep, we've got the chat blowing up right now. Excellent camera placement. Yep, we do our best here.
Yeah, this is just so exhilarating to watch.
Oh, yeah.
These things come together. Watching teams who are really great, just pick and place, make them go where they go, get the
Yeah, it
edges
looks-
all filled out. Go
It
ahead.
really
It
speaks
looks
to
like
their
those were
chemistry.
those edges.
I think
What
you're
they
right.
had set aside were the edges.
Oh, final pieces here. Girls in STEM coming through in the end. Last piece. There they go.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
and
Out
a
of breath.
surprise.
Wow. Oh, what a beautiful moment with the Girls in STEM. Oh, it actually makes me a little emotional. It's so fun to see how joyful and relieved they are. Oh, wow.
Yeah, what a great job they have done.
Fantastic work from
Oh.
Girls in STEM.
Yeah, and look at Control Alt Assemble right here. A lot of edges still to go, but pretty close.
Beautiful work.
So, Michaela, when you hear a team go ahead of you, does it get in your head at all?
No, it makes me go faster, I feel like. Like, oh, we're so close. Come on. We're in the final push. As long as we actually are in the final push.
Right. So you
And
said,
a lot of the times you're just happy for them to, like, we're all such good friends that, you hear someone go off and you're like, of course at nationals, of course, Jeff Be Quick won. Like everyone expected it.
Right.
And you're just like, good for them. That's impressive. You're like, okay, come on. We still have 50, 100 pieces left. Let's go.
Right. And sometimes it's a matter of the puzzle favors one team over another, and it's just not your day.
Oh, here's Baja.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing well too. But they
Yeah.
actually have their whole border together, I think.
They do. And interestingly, they have got a lot of interior pieces still not put together. I guess that makes sense if you've completed the border. But most of the teams have been working their way, as Michaela, you indicated earlier, from the inside out. And we're just there's a different approach going on here.
So far, only girls in STEM have completed their puzzle here at the team final at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. However, we have two teams here on the left, I know, that are not far behind, Baja and Control Alt Assemble. Lots of all-stars here in the front row. And this is a sight to behold. I mean, it's getting exciting because now we see that the pieces are truly coming together. The focus is at an all-time high.
Which team is this?
And the sorting boards are out. Yeah, I wonder if we could figure out exactly which team this is.
Oh, that's Alex from Virginia.
This is the puzzle escape artists. Puzzling escape artist, it seems.
Oh, yeah, that's Tammy's table. The puzzling escape. So Libby Bacon, Alex, I don't know Alex's last name, McConsky, Yuen Chun, and Tammy McLeod. All right, I think the Control Alt Assemble's getting down there, so we could take a look at them. Here they are.
But we have
Yeah.
just the edge left. And look, they've done the same thing with the sorting boards, placing it right in the middle of the puzzle to help these pieces really stand out. And they must have another collection of pieces we can't see.
Yeah, it looks like they're missing a lot. Like they don't have their edges out in the middle. Mm-hmm. So it's been hidden behind this other.
Oh, there we go. There it is. Big reveal, moving that sorting board to the center.
And much like we saw on a previous one, sorry, Michaela, much like we saw previously, there's an opportunity for them when the edges don't have a lot of information. If you've done your way outside, like from the inside out, then you've much reduced the space of where those pieces can go.
Sure.
So you can put them together a lot faster. Sorry, Michaela, what were you going to say?
I was going to give a shout out to Zacho because this is a great time to use that dark puzzle board with all those white pieces. It makes it really easy to see certain, the puzzle shape versus having it
Oh,
on.
and Baja just finished.
Oh, congrats. Well, teammates.
Nice job,
All
Baja.
right, go Baja.
Unfortunately, we didn't have them on the camera.
Coming in second place, we've got our camera is probably going to zoom out and focus up on Control Alt Assemble, who's not far behind.
Yeah,
So
they've
exciting.
got both a black and a white tray there, so they have the option of, depending on what the color of the pieces are, getting maximum contrast.
Loving the support out here today. Once again, making mention of the Zacho sorting boards. Zacho, of course, is one of our sponsors today, helping us make this event happen here, the Portland Jigsaw Masters. Zacho is revolutionizing the tools and gadgets and gizmos aplenty that help support our speed puzzlers. And with
Nice.
that, Control Alt Assemble has come in third, not far behind Baja. So really, when we look at it, girls in STEM, they were pretty far ahead. I'd be curious to know exactly how many minutes elapsed between the two. I want to say at least a good three
Looks
or
like
four.
4 minutes, 18 seconds between
Wow.
Girls in Stamp and Baja, and another minute and 4 for Control Alt Assemble.
Wow, fantastic.
So 5 minutes between the first and third place there. Some celebration going on.
Lots of celebration, lots of fun. Wow. And the rest of our teams are working away here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters team final. Thank you to all of our subscribers here on the Portland Jigsaw Masters YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Maybe we could make it to 250 by the end of today. We're at 222 at the moment.
This is Team Damn It Fit. It's Cosmo Smith, Leslie Richardson, Anita Prum, and Emily Frost, who we had the pleasure of chatting with earlier.
Yes. And I have to say, just the shared passion, it's so obvious. Everybody is really completely locked in, totally in the zone here for this final.
Trying to get a look around and see how some of these other tables are doing.
Yeah.
I like Emily's sort of lean forward approach to things. Again, most of the interior done, and it looks like a lot of work towards the edge at this point. One of the nice things about this, well, nice depending on how you think about it, is that in many competitions, the team event is several puzzles. So this is sort of a one and done. In a way, it's sort of like a sprint for a team. Would you say that's true, Michaela?
Yeah, when you have these competitions where there's only one 1,000 piece puzzle and that's all they have to do, it's definitely a sprint. Just get it done.
Yep.
It's a different kind of preparation than the, back-to-back or kinds of puzzling, couple of thousands in a row.
Yes, and I'm also very glad that they've kind of taken out the, 2 1,000s and a 1,500 in 4 hours?
Yes. Was that at Worlds?
They did it for the first in-person nationals, too,
Okay.
at USDA.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they did, that's how it was at Worlds as well.
Yeah, I know Worlds used to be focused on much longer form puzzling, even with more people before the pandemic.
Yes, it's definitely an endurance over the sprint. I mean, you're still going fast, but the endurance aspect, you definitely have to train it specifically.
Oh, we've got an eye on Puzzle Sharks here. They are they're pretty much in the same place as we saw across the board here, but they've got all their edges completely assembled. So they're really just filling in those gaps, and they seem a few minutes from being done, and it's really coming together here.
Yep, Davey's got his little hand tray there.
Right, with all the puzzle pieces actually flipped over so he can see them, which is not his usual method. Davey explained his dead
He does dead reckoning, but also a no flip
reckoning.
approach to individual puzzles.
Dead Reckoning no flip approach. But here it seems maybe the other sharks went ahead and flipped them all over.
Michaela, have you ever tried a no flip approach to a puzzle?
Sometimes.
Yeah, how does
I
that
do
work for you?
Not for speed necessarily, but more for piece placement.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had a reel when I was doing this recently on my Instagram, and Ali commented like, "Oh, just casually, literally pick a piece up and place it." I'll do all the pieces that are flipped up, and then I'll just pick a piece up and put it exactly where it goes. It's a great way to practice for a piece of pick and place, I think.
Right. Yeah. Because then you're just, especially if you're not doing it for speed, then you're working on your accuracy. Is that basically what you end up doing?
We've got another finisher.
Yes.
There we go.
This is Blemish.
Sorry, can't puzzles buy, says her t-shirt. Fantastic work over here. Repping, of course, the Peace Talks merch.
That's right.
Peace Talks, of course, being our favorite speed puzzling podcast here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters, hosted by the one and only Rob.
That's right. And if you want to hear more about Michaela has been on the podcast. Somebody was just telling me today, Michaela, how much they enjoyed your episode specifically. So, it was a great episode in my opinion as well. So thanks again for joining me on that.
Yes, thank you. I love talking about it, and I've gotten a lot of great feedback as well from it.
Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody else yesterday who was talking about, I think we may have even mentioned it on the live stream, about how changing from the performance mindset to the
Growth mindset.
growth mindset. Thank you.
That's right.
Was a pivot that somebody was interested in making because they were getting sort of hung up on things. So I think that your your advice and your storytelling there is actually reaching out to other people, which is great.
That is what I wanted. So I'm hopeful it helps other puzzlers find peace in puzzling again.
I like the pun.
All right, we've got another team that has just completed the puzzle.
That was Damn It Fit.
That, of course, was Damn It Fit. Congratulations to that team. And I have a feeling we're going to start to see this scoreboard fill up here soon, Rob.
I think you're right. So that was team number 5. So it'll be interesting to see how this puzzle resonates with the rest of the folks out there, and if we start seeing them collapse all one right after the other, or if we got some more gaps yet.
Right. And once again, shout out to our volunteers. You see them walking around in our yellow vests here. And of course, we could not pull off the Portland Jigsaw Masters without them volunteering their time, truly because they just share the love of speed puzzling and want to be here to support our competitors. So thank you to our volunteers.
There again, we've got the tray right in the middle. Pretty classic approach at this point.
Yeah.
Michaela, any last things we want to talk about before we let you go? I appreciate you taking the time to spend some time chatting on the live stream with this.
No, it was great. Beautiful puzzle. And I love seeing how everyone's putting this together. It looks like they're having a lot of fun. And I appreciate fun.
Absolutely. Well, nice to meet you, Michaela. Thank you so much for joining us and lending your expertise, of course, here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. And we hope to see you again next year.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
You can follow Michaela at Puzzle Problem on Instagram.
Puzzle Problem.
Michaela, actually one of the OG puzzle influencers.
Oh, is that?
As you heard, she was on Instagram in a puzzling manner very early on when it was still just happening. And so she rode that wave up. And if you want to hear more about that story and how she had to contend with some things, check out the Peace Talks episode that she did.
Absolutely. Yeah, she seemed to be sort of a pioneer of sorts in this world.
Absolutely. We got the Puzzle Shark still kind of working away at it.
I'm seeing a couple of competitors out here as well with the sorting boards, and one competitor in particular is sort of using it as a tray and holding it up as she continues to put pieces down on the table. So that's a pretty interesting strategy I'm seeing. I did see a capybara mascot out there, which I think is super sweet. Who doesn't love a capybara? And if you don't love capybaras, you're watching the wrong program. We have a strong capybara mascot appreciation here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. And we are just about a second away from the 1 hour mark. 1 hour mark, and what is that? 4 or 5 teams have completed so far their 1,000-count puzzle, 1,000-piece puzzle, provided by Cobble Hill, one of our sponsors here today.
Yeah, I was just going to take a quick look at where we are score-wise. Yep, so we still have 5 listed on the scoring.
5 teams, yep.
Yeah,
5 teams have completed their 1,000-piece puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we've got a couple teams that are not far behind. I know the Puzzle Sharks are kind of coming in at the end here. Actually, if we could get... it's hard to decide where we put the camera.
That's Tammy's team right there.
But I think the Puzzle Sharks might be right ahead of Tammy's team.
The Puzzle Escape Artists.
Here we go, the Puzzle Sharks coming in for the kill. No pun intended.
Oh, looks like they've gone to the floor.
Shimmering and shining, trying to find that final piece. Oh, and that is a tough part. All right. Congrats to the Puzzle Sharks.
Did they end up with an extra piece? Is that what they ended up with?
I'm not sure.
Looks like they did.
Oh, yeah, I guess there's an extra piece. Little commotion happening over there.
It does happen from time to time. You'll get a piece that sort of drifts over from somebody else. Usually you'll find it on the floor.
Interesting.
But It just as a piece can be missing, it's much rarer, but it does happen where you get extra piece or extra pieces. We've seen that happen as well.
And as you can see, there's some hand trays, some sorting boards. Special shout out once again to our sponsor, Zatco, revolutionizing the tools and gadgets for speed puzzlers alike. The limit does not exist to what Zatco can do. They've got all sorts of sorting boards, most notably a fan favorite, the 3-sided sorting board for easy puzzle piece transfer. So thank you, Zatco, for helping make the Portland Jigsaw Masters happen here in 2025.
I'm going to see if we can maybe catch the eye of somebody. We normally have some folks helping us out, bringing people to the podium here, but or the table. But the challenge is a lot of them are out there actually doing some puzzling. So I'm going to see if I can go drag
go
up
for it,
some
Rob.
folks. So I'm going to step away. I'll be right back.
Yep, off he goes. And now he's made the grave mistake of leaving me alone by myself here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm going to look straight down the barrel just to give a very warm thank you to all of our spectators for tuning into the live stream. Thank you so much for joining us today. Of course, I'm Carly Craig, your co-host. I will not be here tomorrow. I have to get back to my very busy Nepo Baby celebrity schedule, but I gotta say, it has been just an absolute pleasure to be up here with the Rob. Off he goes to go find us some interviewees. We've got a strong finish here on the left. Not sure what the name, but we do see a celebrity of sorts in the background there, puzzling Susie. You see her with her purple hair streak. She is becoming a staple to the puzzling community. Be sure to follow her, Puzzling Susie, on Instagram. And I believe that we'll be expecting an interview guest here any moment. But man, what an exciting time here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters team final. And I believe we have the celebrities themselves, Girls in Stemp, up here to join us. Please join us and feel free to share the microphones.
Go ahead and you can pop them off and hand them around or talk right at them.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you get the microphone. I get the headphones.
Okay, so I'm seeing some...
Well, maybe you should share with Chloe, actually.
So I'm seeing some familiar faces up here. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
Well done. Oh, so no, that will be the microphone for the entire venue. So we'll just use totally. Although you've deserved the right to use that microphone.
Right, and you can feel free to take it up if that's easier to hand around or if you want to talk directly into it.
Yeah, perfect.
Either
go
way is
for
fine.
it.
So
Go ahead, Rob.
Tell us about this puzzle. How did you guys go about this?
It was a pretty chaotic experience, I think.
What did it look
did
like
it
from
look
your
like?
It
position?
looked like you guys had your stuff together. It felt like you guys
That's
really knew what you were doing.
Very
You were
kind
going
of you.
fast.
Very generous statement.
I was saying on the live stream that you guys had nearly done energy most of the way through the puzzle. So like I kept glancing over because you looked like you were almost done, but you weren't almost done, but you felt like you had that energy.
Buzzing the entire time, it seemed.
I will say that keeping our energy high through like puzzles is something that I would say our team is very good at. We've done some very hard puzzles. And we've been able to like keep the energy going throughout, and I think that makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. And you could just see the support. Many of you, actually all of you, have been up here already for an interview in the past few days, and that just speaks to your puzzling ability. We have a team of all-stars here, and as a matter of fact, we had Michaela on the live stream, and she predicted that you guys were going to take the top spot. So she was right on the money with that. So when you open the puzzle, can one of you please describe for me the joy that was felt when you saw this image?
It's actually really interesting because I was trying to predict beforehand what we were going to get. And I was like, it'd be really interesting if we got something like the cats versus succulents. And so when we opened the puzzle, and I'm like, it's the cats, it's cute cats.
You knew it was the cats versus puzzles, right?
Yeah, and I haven't done cats versus succulents, so I wouldn't say that this prediction actually helped me in any way. But we were impressed by like how adorable all the cats were immediately and how bright the image was.
So was it pretty easy to tackle from the very beginning, given that there were a lot of bright colors that were pretty distinct from each other?
No.
Could you describe that in more detail?
Yeah, absolutely. We thought that we could sort by color, and we tried, and we found for instance, Caitlin started with 4 boxes simultaneously, maybe 5, which was a lot in one pile.
Is that because they were all the same general color palette?
I don't think we did a good job sorting. And then we also tried to sort out the orange cat, which similarly went very well. And so yeah, it was interesting. But I think we tried to recover quickly, which is definitely where things got a little easier. Once we started to put things in place. Yeah.
Yeah, like we did a lot of switching when things weren't working for someone, because sometimes it's not clicking for you, but somebody else can see it. And so that, I think, really helps. Also, like pivoting to different sections, trying different techniques. Like we talk about using the foreground versus using the background. Yeah. So we give each other like little reminders, like, look at the background, guys. It's really helpful.
Sure. And we also did notice that towards the end there, you guys placed the sorting board right in the middle of the puzzle. Could somebody explain that strategy?
Can I? I love sorting trays.
Okay, you love it. So shout out to Zach Co., one of our sponsors today,
Yes.
who creates some beautiful sorting trays.
Yeah, I'm always asking us to use sorting trays, and so we've developed the strategy of putting the tray in the middle of the puzzle, because when you're not covering any pieces, it's way easier for the whole team to see everything.
Sure.
Instead of it being on one side and then 2 people are reaching. And so it's been, I think it saves a lot of time doing it that way at the end.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it seemed like you guys were giggling your whole way through. There were lots of fun moments over there. I heard a couple of little screams, a little shouts, letting it all out. And so can you describe sort of the excitement? Because, you know, we've seen you compete in individuals, we've seen you compete in pairs, but how does it feel when there's 4 of you in a tight space and you guys are feeling that buzz of energy towards the last couple pieces?
Yeah, sure. I think we just really like puzzling together.
Yeah.
We've also put in a lot of practice for like this event specifically. So
Sure.
we did a bunch of cobble hills as practice leading up to this. And I think, I don't know, it's just nice to feel like it all paid off. And we're just like trying to have fun the whole time, I think.
Absolutely. Well, the fun was felt. The joy was infectious. That's for sure. Rob, do you have any additional observations on the girls in STEM and their performance today?
I mean, aside from just being floored by how fast you guys were moving, I am super curious. You said that at some point you needed to mix things up. You sort of rearranged. How does that communication work? Does somebody just yell, move? I saw. We've seen people pick up and move other people.
Yeah, someone got thrown at one point.
So tell us, how do you coordinate a change of strategy, a change of body position?
We always sit in the same positions on the table. So Chloe and I sit beside each other, and Sky and Hannah. And so we've gotten a lot more comfortable with that, like, individual. So yeah, I will grab Chloe and move her when
Yes, she did literally get thrown across the room. We got a really great shot of that in the process. When it comes down, I'll ask you guys. I know that we have sort of, you know, the colors permeating through, and we were lucky enough to have Allegra from Cobble Hill comment that the original illustration, they were sort of all brown boxes, and they didn't have the puzzle pieces in the middle there in that dead space. Were you using the spillover of the colors at all and the gradients falling off of the boxes to help guide you through this puzzle?
Heavily.
Right, because I would guess that with the puzzle pieces scattered throughout, a lot of them are very similar, so we had to kind of use that as a guide.
Yeah, definitely. Like at the end, we basically just had all these floating puzzle pieces left and the edge. So it was kind of like, can you see any hint of a background color on the piece, and use that as much as you can.
Sure. Well, it's safe to say that everyone here is a Cobble Hill fan. You know, you practiced with a lot of Cobble Hill puzzles. Do you have a favorite from the weekend so far?
For me, it could be this one. I just think the art is so charming.
It is pretty cute.
It is very charming.
My favorite is the sardines.
I'm digging the
How
sardines
could we
myself.
forget the sardines?
Shocker.
Of course. Okay, the
I
sardines.
haven't done the macaroons yet, but if that is equally fun to the sardines, maybe I would go on that side in terms of just
It does look very fun.
very tight.
I gotta try the sardines, because I'm feeling like that could be a me puzzle as well. But for now, I think I like this one the best.
Absolutely. Well, the sky is the limit with the girls in STEM, and I saw you guys were live streaming to your own community. Is that correct?
Yeah, first time.
First time streamers. So go
Shout out to the one person watching when we finish.
shout out to the one person watching the direct
What a
girls
great
in STEM
what a
live
great view
stream.
they must have had. Though.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. And so if you want to go ahead and plug your social media, please go ahead and do that.
Oh, yeah. So I posted the full live stream on Monday Night Puzzle Club. And
Okay.
then these gals are Dolores Park Puzzles and Hannah K Puzzles over here.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining us
Yeah,
today.
congratulations.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
A huge congratulations to the girls in STEM. Thanks so much for joining us.
I can't hear what you said.
That's okay. I was just saying you could
Fabulous. And we are back.
more live streams.
I like that they have energy up here as well as down.
Oh, yeah, they're buzzing. They are buzzing. It's very clear the joy they feel with all things puzzles.
Yeah, and just to speak to the aspect of people giving each other the camaraderie, giving each
Sure.
other props. I actually had, when I was walking over there, we had the Control Alt Assemble team was rushing over there to congratulate them as well.
Support them.
Yeah.
Very supportive community here, as we've noticed and picked up. We have a question here. If the puzzle escape artist finished, yes, they did. They finished at 1 hour and 4 minutes and 33 seconds in the 8th spot.
Now you can't see us, but if you could, you would see that the folks who are there. We go. So what you're seeing in front of us is the Baja team and the girls in the STEMP team passing each other on the way to and from the stage here and giving each other a bunch of hugs.
Beautiful moment. Lots of support here. I have to capture it for myself because it is just so lovely to see these teammates and other teams supporting one another out here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. Fun being had by all. Everybody has all the energy in the world. I mean, we had a nice long break between our last round and this team's round, so everybody probably got their thrift shopping in, got their tamales.
That's right. Chance
Yep.
to get filled and shopped and ready to go again.
Yep, Portland Jigsaw Masters team final fueled by thrift shopping and tamales.
All right.
Okay, we've got one team up here. They are closing in on their finish pretty soon here. Only about 10 pieces remain.
Yep, and just randomly spaced out there. It's just a lot of white random places that you got to fill in at the end.
Oh, and could it be Baja joining us? Hello, ladies. Feel free to take the mics off the stands, and you can totally share them and speak directly into the mics. Baja, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Great. Super excited.
Super excited. Feel free to grab the microphone so we can make sure we can hear you okay. Don't grab that one. Unless you'd like to talk to the whole venue,
We should
which you're
probably
more than
move
welcome
that.
to. Jigsaw Jessa on Instagram. Don't forget to give her a follow, you guys. And
Hope
off
you
she
scared
goes.
her off.
She's getting modest. That has to be my 12th Jigsaw Jessa plug today. All right, so could someone please describe to us the feeling you felt collectively as a team when you opened this puzzle?
Oh, that's super cute. Oh, this is going to be challenging.
Right. And what about it seemed challenging from the jump?
There is just a lot of repetitive colors in like multiple areas of the puzzle, so it's harder to sort it out because it's like, wait, is this over here or is it over there? So
Totally.
So did you divide and conquer it in a particular way, or did everybody just sort of jump into it? How did you approach that?
Yeah, our team really rested on the sorting skills of Allie, so I'm going to make her tell you that.
and Becca.
Go ahead, Allie, tell us.
Yeah, no, the sorters, me and Becca are on the end, and we just feed as much as we can to these two. So it's really, really fun. But it was also harder than we thought to sort it. Like, you would think that some of the cats would stand out or the boxes, and some of them did, but it was a little scramble at the end.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting that you say there was a scramble at the end, because I feel like we were watching you guys sort of, I don't know if it was just the outfits, but I had this sort of casual vibe for you guys. And you guys were making progress, and then we looked away, and then we looked back, and then you guys were done. So something about that last 10, 20% seemed to actually come together really fast. Was that actually true?
I think what happened, Allie and I had a synchronized piece putting in at the, like, never had this before. We both put in a piece that connected to each other at the same time. There was no like, dun dun. It was like, dun.
That's
And we're
beautiful.
like, okay, time. Thank you. It was so beautiful.
Very nice. Those are the moments that happen here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters 2025. Lots of joy, lots of moments of synchronicity like this here. This one particularly from Jigsaw Jessa, who you can follow on Instagram at Jigsaw Jessa. So moving ahead, how are we feeling about all the Cobble Hill puzzles that we've encountered? Of course, we know they're one of our sponsors here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. Do we have a favorite Cobble Hill puzzle so far this weekend?
It's like Sophie's choice. They've all been really beautiful and colorful,
Yeah.
lovely illustrations with like flat color. So they were just delightful for speed puzzling, like really, really well picked images. So
Yeah.
thank you.
I'd have to agree. And
Just
that,
a lot of nice variety, like
Yeah.
of images and options to puzzles. So
And it's nice that Cobble Hill provided a whole set of unreleased puzzles for this competition, which is
Yeah.
fairly rare. And it's, I love an unreleased puzzle for a competition because it's very level setting. And they had a whole suite of them. So it was great that there's a whole bunch of things that we could see new puzzles from and choose from.
yeah. And so tell us about your wardrobe today.
Well, so our team name is Baja because of our initials.
Very nice.
We were playing around with our initials. He was either Jabba or Baja. So here we are.
It would have been a very different outfit if it was Java.
Or Job or Baj.
Yeah.
Right. Baj. Right.
I did, though we didn't go with Jabba, I did manage to wear a Star Wars Hawaiian shirt.
That's
Very
amazing.
nice.
Just in case there was any question
Any
about
sort
the
of switch
nerdiness
up.
factor here.
Right, of course. Well, yeah, beautiful wardrobe. Love the teamwork. Love the camaraderie. Love the cohesiveness of the wardrobe choices. And so, has there been a particular favorite moment this weekend for each of you? Because I know you all are competing in various events. Of course, the teams brings a whole different level of energy. But is there a particular moment at the Portland Jigsaw Masters this weekend that stood out to you as a particularly joyful moment? They're at a loss for words because there are just too many joyful moments to count.
So right when we got to Portland Jigsaw Masters, we went to dinner, and Becca presented us with these beautiful
Aw.
necklaces that she hand kind of soldered, I guess, is that the word? Just hand assembled. And I think right there, it was so fun. This is our first time puzzling together as a team, and I think that made the ball roll for me. And then practicing and just the finale, it was incredible.
I'm such a sap. That made me tear up a
Yeah.
little bit. That's so sweet. I love to see the support here. It's very, very sweet to watch.
Did you guys find that you plugged in together pretty well from the get-go?
Yeah.
Yeah, simply
Yeah,
put.
I think we had pretty complementary skill sets, and we played around with where we should be around the table to optimize who was passing what in which direction.
You're one of the few teams who had the edge stood up pretty early. Becca, was that a your approach to things, or?
I think every one of us put in at least some of the edge pieces. We abandoned it pretty quickly early on.
we had it like
You got some,
half
like,
assembled.
pockets.
Yeah, we had it like half assembled early on, and then said that's good for now, and we'll go back to that. So team effort.
I actually picked that up from Alejandro Clemente Leon. He often will set the edges aside, and then when he gets stuck, he'll work on those just to maintain the momentum. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was standing there like, I don't know what to do.
And so
To the edge.
suddenly you had a big pile of things you could work on.
Yeah.
Perfect. And we do have a couple of Becca fans here in the chat. We have Nerd Puzzle saying Becca is my hero. We have SoCal Speed Puzzlers saying Becca is a fantastic USA JPA volunteer. All puzzlers should join USA JPA. They do so much for the puzzling community.
It's
So,
true.
yes, thank you so much for your hard work, Becca. Thank you, all of you guys, for joining us and gracing us with your presence. You were a delight to watch, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the weekend here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And that was Baja. They, of course, were very close to being the first place finishers, but they came right in as the second here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters team final. The team final, of course, referring to the teams of 4 out here on the floor. Oh, and I think we have our Control Alt Assemble team.
We do.
Our group of rock stars.
There's another team out there that had brought some sort of stand for a poster. That's very interesting.
Very interesting choice. Come on up, ladies. Please join us in welcoming Control Alt Assemble. Go ahead and take a seat. And go ahead and grab the microphones off of the stands if you could. Maybe not that one, because that is for the entire venue.
Can you hand that one over? We
Yeah,
keep having to
maybe.
mention that.
Yeah, here we go.
We should not have access to that.
I mean, you 100% can. Just know who you're talking to when you use it.
All right, Control Alt Assemble. Go ahead and tell us about the team name.
We don't really have a great story.
We asked ChatGPT.
We asked ChatGPT
Okay.
for a name, and now we're debating if we want to change our name. So
Yeah.
we'd be open to suggestions if anyone out there has ideas.
Trying to come up with a new one for spring.
We're soliciting a new one before we go to Worlds.
Okay, great.
right.
Any suggestions here in the chat would be helpful
Yes.
to Control
Yeah.
Alt Assemble.
From people who are cleverer than us.
Yes.
Right. So I see many familiar faces up here. You've all been up on the podium this weekend talking to us. How did you all come to meet one another and to sort of join forces to create Control Alt Assemble working title?
Some people were in the room together, but well, Arena and I met on Facebook. I signed up for nationals with a team slot with just one friend, and Arena posted. Me and my friend signed up for nationals, and we don't have a team. And then we had a weird first date where we went to a cafe and did a puzzle together, and they were like, "Okay, I guess we're a team now."
Do you like me? Are we okay together?
Check yes or no.
Yeah, we all came out of that being like, this was weird, but we
good.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then shout out to Andrea Pang, who I think matchmakes
Us, yeah.
match-made the two
Though
pairs.
we were all here last year, but we didn't know each other.
Yeah, we were all here last year. We didn't know each other at all. We just kind of existed together.
Sure.
And then we were both like, oh, we need another pair for Portland. And Andrew's like, you guys should work together.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we
we
did.
did another pair for Worlds.
And for Worlds was first. And we're like, oh, we should go to Portland.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so how did you guys feel when you opened this beautiful Cobble Hill puzzle, and were you scared?
Not initially. We were like, oh,
Not
we weren't
initially.
scared enough.
boxes, yeah. And then we started doing it, started sorting and things. The boxes were okay, but then all of a sudden it just turned into chaos. And
Yeah, the colored pieces that were scattered around were very confusing because they looked very much like the edges of boxes.
All right. Coming in clutch. Big celebration here on the floor at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we thought it was a super cute puzzle and thought it would be easier than it was.
Very adorable. We wanted to be better at it.
Yes.
Right. And would you say that the gradients really helped you, the spillover that was coming off of each of the boxes, or do you think that was a bit of a setback for you?
Not as much as we wanted them to help us, I would say.
We're more scattered than we thought, so it didn't help as much as we wanted.
yeah.
Sure, understood. I mean, originally we heard that the illustration, all of the boxes were brown and that they didn't have any color. So they really curated this puzzle specifically for this event. But it seems like people were going straight for the cat faces right away, right? To assemble exactly which cat. Do each of you maybe have a favorite cat on this puzzle that you were most drawn
We
to?
did start naming them.
My nemesis is the white cat because
Right.
I couldn't do the box around it very quickly and I struggled. But I don't know about a favorite.
Right.
My favorite is the cat butt and the green box on the left.
Okay,
Yeah,
green bot.
that's a good
green
one.
butt on the left. Okay.
I like Winky Cat, as I was calling him. And then at the top left, I called Side Eye Cat. That's Winky Cat, that's Side Eye Cat.
Very cute. That looks like a little bit like my dog Oliver.
And I like the splat cat at the bottom, the one
Splat,
coming
yeah.
out of the box.
Totally.
My cats would do that.
Right.
So what is your table talk like when you guys are competing? Is it mostly upbeat fun, having a good time? Is it a lot of tactical conversations? Do you talk at all besides naming cats?
I like to name I like to name things on the puzzle. Arena likes to sing.
Yeah, I do.
There was singing, there was cursing, there was strategizing. Yeah,
What kind of
a
songs
mix.
were we singing out there?
I honestly can't tell you. I
we
have
don't
no
even
idea.
know. I mean,
Whatever.
whatever's playing or
Sure.
whatever's stuck in our heads.
And at some point, I think each of us is went like, oh, I'm useless.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I think vocalizing your panic helps.
Absolutely. So we actually do have a suggestion here in the chat. Control Alt Defeat. Control Alt Delete.
Wow, who is that from? Good job.
That would be from one of our moderators here.
All right.
I mean, it's more clever on the pun, but
Yeah.
it is.
The pun is clever.
Yeah.
Not really a winning.
And this is like we're defeating others, but that's a little more aggressive than I feel like speed puzzling.
You know, we're
Definitely
here.
is.
We're here in Portland. You're soaking up the sights. You're taking in the ambiance. I'm sure it'll come to you guys soon enough. So, what do we see for the future of Control Alt Assemble?
We brought up show and tell.
Oh,
Yeah.
how fantastic!
Oh,
Let's see.
I love a
I'm
prepared
working on
guest.
knitting a puzzle shirt. So this was my swatch, and
Oh,
the
is
rest
that
of
a-
the team
We'll
has
hold it
now
up a little
requested
higher.
puzzle shirts.
Yeah, so hold it up for our viewers at home. I see it. It's
yes.
your favorite color, purple.
It is. I've already promised Rebecca a blue one, but knowing me, it's going to take me years to get through them. So
Yeah. So 2028, we'll see this.
Right, or you could make some cat sweaters, right?
Or yes, that would be faster.
Yeah, that would be a bit faster.
Take
for
up
sure.
speed knitting.
Right, or
Speed knitting. Oh, that's got to be a thing.
Yeah,
New niche.
competitive.
yeah, maybe we'll have a speed knitting corner at the Portland Jigsaw Masters 2026.
That would be amazing.
Yep, who knows, just so that all of our hobbyists can
Shine the light.
Yes, absolutely. And so when you were out there on the floor, could you describe to us sort of the energy you felt, maybe not just within your own table, but in the room at large?
I think there was panic everywhere.
Most people were panicking, I think.
Okay.
There's a lot of chaos. But Teams is just the most fun event. It's such a group, like the energy is unmatched. So even though we were all like in moderate despair, I think it was still
Absolutely.
just
I like in
Just
the
an
face of
incredible amount of
a
energy.
puzzle full of adorable cats. You guys were just experiencing.
Yeah, I think the whole
despair.
room loved the puzzle when we opened it, and we'll love it when we finished it. But that like in between, there's a lot more.
I often talk about the sort of pit of despair that happens when you're kind of midway through a hard puzzle.
Yeah.
And I thought it was only like the slower puzzlers like me who actually experience it. So I'm actually sort of relieved to hear that elite level puzzlers like yourself found yourself in the pit.
We were definitely in the pit of despair for a little bit there.
Wow. Well, congratulations once again on
Thank you.
on really just a true success story here for Control Alt Assemble. Thank you guys so much for donating your time, and feel free to go out and support your other competitors.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so
guys
much.
so much. Congratulations to Control Alt Assemble.
I don't know how to do
A
that.
team full of rock stars. We really can't deny. As we look out here to the floor, let's see the progress. We see on our wide shot here that we might just be able to pull up shortly that we have a good amount of tables still occupied here at the team event. So it's making me wonder, Rob, if any of these teams are going to fall short of our 2-hour cutoff time.
That's a great question. We have a little extra time. I think it's actually 2.5 hours for this competition.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, yes. Surprise.
Oh, great. So we're sitting here 1 more hour.
That's right.
Love
So I think that we will see a good chunk of them finish. 1,000 piece is a different beast, and so not everybody's necessarily going to finish it. But we've got a lot of time here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see if most people make it across the line.
Right. So in the grand scheme of things, with the 2.5 hour time limit, I mean, the performance from Girls in STEM, Baja, and Control Alt Assemble is even more impressive.
Yeah, it is often in these higher piece count, more people puzzles where you really see the difference between what a very high elite performance can do and what regular folks like myself are capable of doing.
Yes, absolutely.
But again, it's you come to this to have fun. You come to this to do some personal bests. You can see that we're looking at WAP here. That's Sean
Looking
off
at
to the
WAP.
right-hand side, and I
Yep.
think he's got a tray that's got some sorted pieces. So they're actually doing quite well.
We have someone here in the chat saying, my license plate on my car is Jigpuzz. Jigpuzz. That is clever. Very clever.
So trying to find out. We have a guest joining us, and can't quite tell if she's on yet. So trying to find out if she's available for us. And then a little bit later, we'll have resident statistician Jacob Palawa come up, and we'll walk through some fun things. I mean, if you like data, which
Who doesn't?
I assume is everybody.
And when it's in Comic Sans, forget about it. I'm going to take a look here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters Instagram. Because,
Meanwhile, just real quick, I see Jin and Jigsaw's got a clear puzzle tray, which is interesting.
How amazing to think about that, because of course it's not going to obstruct the view of the rest of the puzzle.
That's right. As Zach was saying when we were talking to him yesterday, the kind of thing that you can set down there. Normally, I would imagine you'd want something like a frost or something,
sure,
so that you can differentiate it. Because otherwise, you're really close to having pieces just sitting on the puzzle, like visually.
Fantastic work out here.
Looks like we're having trouble getting our guest on, so we'll just sort of proceed.
We will hang tight. We've got Jigsaw Jessa here tagged us in a story. I know I keep plugging her.
I was going to say, you were doing so much work on her behalf.
You know, it's like when I see someone out there just living their truth and not wanting to put their own handle out there, I find it's my personal mission to make them unmodest and to brag a little bit.
Jess is another, much like Becca, Jessa is deeply sweet, deeply kind human being. She's had some rough times in her past. She alluded to it ever so briefly when she was the expert on the live stream with us.
Right.
She's had some challenges that made her fall out of love with puzzling.
Mm-hmm.
She goes into detail on that. She's not shy about talking about it, but she goes into detail about it on Peace Talks episode that I recorded with her. So if you want to hear more about her backstory, well worth a listen.
Make sure to check that out. That's Peace Talks, the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And where is that available, Rob?
You can find that anywhere good podcasts are sold. So you can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's available in pretty much every directory. If you search for it, it will show up.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you all once again for tuning into the live stream. We have 84 at-home spectators at the moment. Thank you guys so much for supporting us and, of course, for tuning in, subscribing, all the things. Also, make sure to give us a follow. I'm looking here at our Instagram, and it looks like, as of right now, do we have another guest here?
Well, this is Jacob.
This is the Jacob.
Yeah, go ahead and finish your thought, though.
That we are at 909 followers here on the Portland Jigsaw Masters official Instagram. So feel free to give us a follow there. We'd love to hit 1,000 by the end of the weekend. Hello, Jacob. Welcome.
Hello. How's it going?
Go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know what brings you here to the Portland Jigsaw Masters today.
So my name's Jacob Palawa. I don't have that much of a history in speed puzzling.
Sure.
I've done one speed puzzle. It was Disney color palette with all the Pixar characters.
Okay.
I did 2 hours and 29 minutes. So that's the level of my scale. I'm coming into a little hostile environment here. I've been hearing some smack talk about the Comic Sans. So
No.
I've been listening on the stream, and it's getting a little bit of a hate.
You know, I believe that you're misinterpreting us here, Jacob. I am a big fan of Comic Sans, and in
Cool.
fact, I've been giving nothing but praise to the choice, because if it was Papyrus, I'll tell you right now,
Cool.
Jacob, those stats would not be resonating with me.
Yeah, and they might not even be correct, too. The Comic Sans adds to the legitimacy of them.
Exactly. So I have concluded that in order for me to retain any information moving forward, it must now be in Comic Sans only, and that's thanks to Jacob here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters.
So Jacob comes to us because he was participating in a Discord that I have going, which is Jigsaw Puzzle Stats Nerds.
Okay.
If you're interested in joining, hit me up on probably Instagram. Beware, that is a lot of silence punctuated by brief moments of excitement.
Very exciting things, too.
Yeah. And Jacob is one of the reasons that there have been punctuated excitement because he came in and started taking data that we had available and data that he had found and started doing some interesting things with it. So we got to talking, and he decided that he would be willing to come and make some things, share some things. So we're going to talk a little bit about some fun things that he's been digging up.
I can't wait to learn more.
Yeah, so I guess we can get started here. I think I'm supposed to say, yeah, there we go. So this is some basic stuff. You know, we all are probably familiar with myspeedpuzzling.com, where you can enter your own times, log them, solo, duos, teams. Every day they update with how many puzzles are done, how many people are puzzling, all of this information.
Sure.
But it's often, I think, glossed over. Really just highlighting here on the slide some of the cool information that can be found there. We're up to over 160,000 times logged on that website as of like a week ago or something.
Wow.
So quite amazing. You can see on this in the top right, sort of dominated by solo entries. You might expect that. And what I think is really cool, if you put into perspective some of like the piece counts, the times that are logged, we're up to almost 83 million pieces that have been logged, by, you can see there almost 3,500 puzzlers. To sort of put that in perspective, Cobble Hill pieces, they might be on a little bit of a bigger side, maybe about an inch long each. 83 million inches is almost 1,300 miles. So,
Wow.
maybe about a third of the length of the U.S. you're stretching across in just puzzle pieces laid end to end. It's kind of fun. Neat fact to have in your back pocket. Another one, if you just put them all in a pile, they'd weigh something like 80,000 pounds. I'm not a biologist, but elephants weigh 10, 20,000 pounds each. So looking at a couple of full-size elephants there.
Can I just say, to reinforce how sexy Data is, that half the room just turned and looked at the screens here?
Yeah,
to
that's
see what's going on.
So now I know how to get a man. Just simply present some data.
Yeah, nice bar chart.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 100% of the people who turned and watched were women. So Jigsaw puzzling has a high degree of women. I think we've done an estimate. It's about 85% women last I checked. And a lot of them are in
the data.
A lot of them are in STEM fields.
Yeah.
Right.
So
we just saw the girls in STEM.
We did.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, I will say, the sport of speed puzzling, however, does not discriminate. Everybody is welcome into the sport,
Including people who don't speed puzzle and just like the data.
That's right.
Right. Including data lovers. Yes.
But yeah, it's been really fun, as Rob was saying, digging into some of the data. The things that I like about it are, if you've listened to Rob's Peace Talks podcast, he has these build up to nationals where you can find really fast puzzlers who might not have had a national spotlight on them at any point, who are just throwing down in crazy times. I like that aspect of it. I like just seeing what people are doing, how often they're doing them. Some of that information has come across in the stream, so
Sure.
It's really quite interesting.
We have a team here on our live stream that is coming in. It seems like they've got about a few minutes left here.
Yep.
I want to point out the popped collar, a fashion staple that I haven't seen in many years, but it's coming back.
What else you got for us, Jacob?
Yeah, let me pull up one of these slides here. So whenever production is ready, we have another slide up. I think one of the things you might have just spoken with Arena about is the idea of a speed running a puzzle, as opposed to what we're seeing here in Portland Jigsaw Masters, our first time, never before seen puzzles. These unreleased puzzles, you just do them the first time you see them.
Sure.
We talked about last night or 2 nights ago maybe with Arena about the concept of a speed running a puzzle. You take one puzzle, you do it over and over again and try to basically be as fast as possible. One of the cool things about my speed puzzling is we have thousands of data points on people who have done a puzzle multiple times.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I thought was interesting is you can go and find out who has done a puzzle 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, and just plot the average of them. So what we see here is along the horizontal, the attempt number that somebody's done to take a puzzle. So starting 1, 2, 3 times up to about 40 times. 42 times is I think the most completed puzzle on my speed puzzling.
Which we are finding is by far not as many as people have done.
I think the number for Arena's Rainbow Cats was 200. So she had to do it 200 times to get her record time, which is, 5 times the size of the x-axis here.
I think she was saying it was 17 minutes she finally landed on.
1740.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, lightning quick. And so that's on the x-axis. The y-axis is the improvement in time. So if I take an hour and I take 50% off of that, my new time's 30 minutes.
Sure.
And what you can see here is, as you might expect, as people do more and more puzzles, they get faster and faster and faster.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's a little bit of things swept under the rug here. If you start with a slow time, you have more room to improve. So I would imagine somebody like Arena is starting faster, has less of an ability to shave off a significant amount of time from her times. But you can see you can end up, at that right side of the plot taking 50, 60, almost 70% off of your original time, especially if your first attempt is maybe not the best.
I have a lot of those.
Yeah, me too. That's why I've only done one. So, so things like that, I think, are really interesting questions that can be answered with speed puzzling data. They can tell you about, what the limit of a speed puzzler is or how to improve better. And those types of questions you can really only answer with a database like My Speed Puzzling or competition data or whatever that might be.
Sure.
Yeah, shout out to Jan and Simona who stood up the My Speed Puzzling database website, I think just back in early 2024.
Yeah, so my knowledge of the history is that end of 2023, 2024 is when it really started to get public, international attention. I think it had been a Czech Republic sort of exclusive website, maybe for a year or two before that, but 2023 is really when the data starts taking off on that website. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So very recent.
Very, very recent. And we're at the point where, at least as of a week ago, there's about 500 times added every day, which is amazing. I think it's like once every, 3 minutes or something.
Wow. A lot of puzzlers out there.
Team WAP.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
we just have a team
to say,
finishing.
the Team WAP, local Portland
Team
favorite.
WAP.
We're not sponsored at all by My Speed Puzzling, but they've got some great data and they're happy to share it. So we're bringing that here. What's interesting about the graph that you showed is that as you get more repetitions, time goes down. It sort of looks like it's hard to tell at the very end, but it may just keep going down. We certainly know. I was talking with Irina earlier and Diana actually about their experience with that speed puzzle, and Irina was talking about how for the longest time they were at 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, and then at some point it was just a breakthrough to move down. So it'd be interesting to see like the number of people who contribute that many pieces.
Yeah.
This could be pretty small, but it'd be interesting to see if there's way out off to the right of that graph, islands of where people just drop down even further.
Yeah, and at least
Oh, another team finishing out here.
Oh yeah, who is that? Do we know the name?
Let's see, we will find out the
This
name.
is the one with
shortly.
the music stand that they brought.
Music stand team.
Great idea,
Very
especially for
nice.
these posters.
Yes.
Well done.
We've seen a variety of solutions to these posters now.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so you were saying, Jacob.
Yeah, so I know on myspeedpuzzling.com, the number of puzzlers that have entered 40 times for one puzzle is only about 2. So there's really not that much data at that end.
Yeah.
When we're at like 15 to 20 puzzles, there's still a couple hundred people that are doing that. So sizable enough where you can be reasonably confident in that. I think the number of people who have done a puzzle more than once is something like 20,000. So at that point, I think, the left side of that plot was probably more well-constrained than any other part.
Yeah, I feel
Absolutely.
like once you get to 20 or more, you're probably looking at people who are intentionally speed puzzling.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and there's probably is a huge skew,
Or speed running is what I meant.
Yeah, the average puzzler here might not enjoy that type of puzzle, So I know some puzzlers almost exclusively only do first tries.
Yes.
Whereas others are only doing speed runs. So
Right.
there's definitely a sort of bias there.
Interesting. And so what do you see for the future of this logging website? I mean, I imagine there are tons of speed puzzlers out there that are now, because they're tuning in to the Portland Jigsaw Masters, are aware of this website where you can log your data and contribute to all of the stats about the speed puzzling community. What do you see for the future of this website?
I just like playing around with the data. So
Great.
I just hope more people enter.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we don't have anything to do with that particular
Yeah.
website, but there is a website that, Jacob, you do have something to do with. I think this would be a great time to share that.
Yeah, sure. So one of the things that's interesting, myspeedpuzzling.com is great, but it's not reflective necessarily of competition data. So people who are entering USAJPA events or things like that.
Sure.
It's a different environment for sure. And so Rob has been putting together an excellent database of competitions. So whether that's USAJPA sanctioned or some of the Euro Jigsaw jams, some of the Spanish events, these competition environments. And they were in spreadsheet form, maybe not the most searchable thing. So I wanted to just sort of put that together in its own place. Again, totally distinct from My Speed Puzzling, nothing to do with that. But at least for logging competition data and searching through that database, if production could switch to my laptop, I could show you that.
And it seems that Jacob has a couple fans here.
Yeah, some of the girls in STEM hanging out.
So at least this is just, again, Rob's data that he's put together, just visualized, very similar to my speed puzzling, but reflective of competition-only data. So a nice place if you've never heard of somebody or want to get a sense of who a new puzzler is, this is a place where you might go. You can look up people, like I'll put in some of the girls in STEM who are sitting.
I use this constantly. The ability to be able to look up and compare puzzlers with each other. I like that you're making the folks who are over there watching blush.
We have Sky and Chloe. We're looking up their stats as they sit right here.
Yeah, so this is just a place where you can go to. Well, here, I'll just show 3 for now because I don't want to. Sorry, I'm not excluding anybody. You can at least go. So Rob has developed a ranking system, for example.
Fantastic.
Peace Talks ranking, similar to JPAR, but sort of takes things into account. You can look at all the times that they've entered in competition.
Fantastic.
And at least visualize that. So, in fact, some of the people that I've met this weekend, I'm able to put data to a face, I guess, when I'm able to meet them and then sort of stalk them virtually in their competitions. So
this is fantastic.
Yeah, so that's
Isn't it
something.
amazing?
Yeah, you can check out. Again, very similar to my speed puzzling, but for competition data only.
Sure.
This sort of curated set that Rob's put together.
Yeah, and there's more things you can slice and dice, and maybe next time you're up, we'll take a look at some of those other options. But yeah.
Yeah.
So folks should definitely go check this out. Puzzle board. What was it? I didn't catch the URL.
Oh yeah, puzzleboard.streamlit.app. I can put it in the chat, or Carly's got it here. Streamlit.app.
Streamlit.net.
.app, and I can also put it. I don't want to share.
.net, .edu, .gov,
.co.uk.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Jacob. I appreciate you coming
Yeah.
up and sharing some stuff with us, and we look forward to having you back up again.
Thanks for having me up. Shout out to the Stats Discord. Join that. And also, obligatory shout out to the original statistician puzzler, Jim Nerd Puzzle, in the chat.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
All
Who will be
thank
with
you
us
guys.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
All right,
thanks.
Thank you so much, Jacob.
Thanks.
All right.
Love myself some deep nerdery.
We sure do. And I loved listening to it.
We have our guest finally on the line. We were able to get her on the
Fantastic.
line. So Xanthi, are you there? Are you able to hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Xanthi.
Welcome.
No, thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Where are you calling in from, just so the folks know?
I'm in Australia, in Perth, which is the capital city of Western Australia, so I'm on the west coast.
Oh,
Nice.
fantastic. Oh, we've got some celebration on the floor here. Lots of excitement happening here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. So you are all the way in Perth, Australia. Why don't you let us know what time it is where you are?
It is almost 8:30 in the morning on Sunday, so I'm calling you from the future.
Oh, wow. Time traveling.
I was talking with the Aussie All-Stars the other day, and it was definitely like talking to the future. I was like, you guys you need to tell me what the stocks are going to be like.
Yeah.
So, Xanthi, you were calling in from Australia. You had mentioned that maybe it would be interesting to talk a little bit about how Australian puzzle competitions are different from U.S. competitions.
Yeah, I've noticed quite a difference. I mean, I understand that this competition is a bit different, and I've noticed a few differences. But first thing I want to say is that never have we been offered a cardigan as a prize, and I am so jealous because it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful
And
piece.
if I won it, I would wear it. I would show it off, even though where I live, I'll probably go to window 1 month to wear it.
Sure,
because it's
sure.
so hot here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I noticed that. Well, you've got a whole 3-day event here, and our regional sort of state ones are all done in 1 day. We've only got 2 races. You either have the solo and the teams, all pairs. You don't have all 3. Also, I noticed that you've got, like, everyone has a table to themselves, which we never have. I mean, obviously teams get a table, but if you're doing pairs or solo, you're crammed in, sharing the table. The tables are close together.
Wow.
So yeah, it's quite luxurious to look at this competition.
It really is, yeah. There's my
but
team
I'm
on the
also-
screen, by the way.
Sorry?
I was just pointing out that this is my team I would normally be on the screen right now.
Oh,
Flipping
nice.
pieces.
Also noticed that you've got new puzzles, unreleased puzzles, and that's exciting.
Yes, we have one of our sponsors here, Cobble Hill Puzzles. They provided many of the puzzles this weekend. This one in particular is, I believe, called Cats versus Puzzles. So that is what our competitors are working on here. We had a beautiful puzzle that had not been revealed yet of sardines, a collection of sardines yesterday. And so, yeah, there's a large variety here from Cobble Hill Puzzles, and many of our competitors have commented on how much they love the cut of these puzzles, how much they love the way that they feel, and how they love the illustrations in particular, especially how colorful they can be.
Yeah, but I believe they brought 5 new puzzles to this competition,
Wow.
and that is, you're right, it's pretty rare. It's pretty exciting for us, actually, because fresh puzzles are kind of hard to come by.
I really want this one, and I'm hoping I can get it here in Australia. Cobble Hill is a little bit difficult to get here.
Sure.
But I love cats and I love puzzling, so this is right up my alley.
Now, my understanding is that maybe your nationals has potentially the biggest collection of people puzzling simultaneously, if not very close to that. Is that correct?
Yes, I went to nationals last year, and we had something like over 350 solo puzzlers puzzling all at once, which was really overwhelming. It was in a very large sort of basketball court, sports room. And I think this year they're going to be doing qualifiers, so we don't have that same situation, because it's quite difficult on the volunteers going around catching people's times.
Boy, you're
Because
not
as you
kidding.
know, these competitions, everyone finishes so close together.
You must have to have so many volunteers for an event like that.
Yes, it's logistically, I think it was very tricky to pull off.
Now, Australia's a large space. Do you have to travel pretty far to go to competitions, especially if they're not in your own district?
Yeah, the nationals happen over in the eastern states. I live on the west coast, so I had to fly for about 4 or 5 hours
Wow.
over thousands of kilometers to get there. And I'm going again this year.
Nice
We
job,
have
the Puzzle Jail.
Puzzle Jail celebrating here on the floor. And it looks like many of these front tables have cleared out. And now they're just puzzling for fun, it seems.
I mean, that's the only way to puzzle.
Yep, exactly.
So, Xanthi, how did you get into competitive puzzling?
Well, it turned out that the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association president, she actually lives here in Perth. She's no longer the president; she stepped down, but she was doing it for several years. I met her just at a local swap, and she was just starting it up, and I thought that looks interesting. And she actually was the one that introduced me to the whole concept of speed puzzling. I think most Australians didn't even know it was a thing until about
Right.
5 years ago.
Sure.
So
But
that's how I got into it.
But Australia actually has a fairly well constructed series of competitions, I feel like, Australia's actually had competitions for longer than a lot of places.
Yeah, we have. Ours is quite interesting in that the association has a state competition in almost all of the state and territories here.
Yeah.
And they're quite uniform, and they're really nicely organised. And of course, then you have your little local sort of competitions popping up here and there as well, which is good to see.
Fantastic. And from what we understand, this is a sport that's really exploded over the last 4 or 5 years. Before that, only a couple of early adopters of this hobby turned sport. And now it is just spreading all over as it's so infectious, the joy, the teamwork, the camaraderie. Do you find that in Australia, I know that the community is starting to grow, the camaraderie, could you maybe talk a little bit about that and sort of the community?
Absolutely. I'm an early adopter. Like I went to the very first state speed puzzling competition that happened here in Western Australia because our president was here, and it was quite a small affair. And then I noticed each year I went to every single state competition, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And so we're still attracting more people. And then when I went to the Nationals last year, I was just astounded at how massive it was and how fiercely competitive, because the state ones, you still attract quite a few people who are new to it. They rock up with their snacks,
Yeah.
they sort of take their time, but it's getting, there's a core group that are very competitive, but I think it's growing in that, more people are getting into it.
Yeah, we
And
did have a discussion about snacks earlier and what snacks are allowed and not allowed. We had a team consuming some Twizzlers or some Red Vines during this team's.
I get the
setup.
sense, Xanthi, that you're not a snacks person in a competition.
I am no snacks.
None allowed.
In our state competition here, my team came second. We were in it to win it.
Right.
Yeah, well done. Who else was on your team? Shout out to your team members.
Oh, a shout out to Vicky, Karen, and my partner Marcus. He's not a puzzler, but he got dragged into it, and he does pairs with me as well. So, yeah.
Husband.
We're well into it.
Husband.
Husband. You like a good husband who's willing to come in, or as I learned from the Canadian Devin Donaldson, a significant other.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so it's nice. A lot of folks have. We talked about earlier on the live stream that I can't remember who it was, brought their sort of spouse along, and then as they got better, made friends with other people, their spouse sort of was able to drop off. And I've heard a lot of people, like elite people especially, be like, no offense, spouse of mine who's done a really great job of supporting me at this point, but I found people that I think I can maybe be more performant with.
Right.
I heard that from Rachel.
Lane from the Portland Puzzle Company chiming in, saying he heard that from Rachel.
Yeah, that's right. My wife, Rachel, who is now puzzling, she's the better puzzler of us anyways, is now puzzling without me, and I'm sure doing amazing. I'm supporting her, and she's supporting me.
Would you say she has a very large piece of your heart, Rob?
She's got pretty much all of it, yeah.
I wouldn't
Lane
do
like
that
that
to
one.
Marcus. My partner, he will puzzle me with me to the end of time.
That's great. So do you have any designs on going to Worlds, or have you been before?
I haven't been. I wish I could go, but I think you can understand what a long trip it is and how expensive it is to fly from Australia to Spain. So unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen unless I win the lottery.
Right. I mean, there have been persistent rumors for years that it would be great for not. There have been rumors that if it were to move around the worlds, that Australia is a place that it could end up. If it ended up in Australia, I assume you would be at that one.
I would be there in a heartbeat. I would probably compete and get knocked out in the first round, but that's okay, because one thing I love about these events is like meeting people and catching up with your online puzzle friends and doing all the other activities that go with it. So yeah, it's not just about the competing, it's about the whole atmosphere, really.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so we're seeing a lot of really funny team names here. So, of course, we have our competitors that have already finished their puzzle here in the final, one of them being Rest in Pieces, or the Puzzling Escape Artist, Keep Calm and Puzzle On. Do you have what's your team name for you and your friends that puzzle together?
We are called Pure Chaos.
Pure Chaos.
Now tell me why.
Because I noticed that when people were talking about their style of puzzling, I noticed that my style is just chaotic. It works, but it's pure chaos. And I suggested it to my teammates, and they said, "Yeah, that sounds good."
They said that's accurate.
It was kind of funny because in our state competition, our last piece was on the floor, so we were scrabbling around looking for our last piece, and the commentator says that we're experiencing pure chaos.
Right.
True.
Right.
So what about your approach is chaotic?
It kind of feels like I'm working on 5 different areas all at once when I'm solo puzzling, and I know some people are a bit more methodical, whereas I'm just chaotic, but it comes together fine for me. It's like being able to rub your tummy and tap your head. It's being able to do 2 different things or 5 different things with your brain all at once. And I think that's a skill.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you working in with just a whole bunch of puzzles and you're just working in amongst all of the pieces, or do you like separate them out and have a working space where you're working on several different parts?
We do sort of separate and work in different sort of spaces and areas. I guess there is some structure to it, but when you kind of like watching, it looks chaotic.
I got one last question for you. I've seen this logo. This is the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association. Can you explain to me what the logo is all about?
On the T-shirt, or on actually the
T-shirt.
association logo?
Yeah,
Oh, the T-shirt. Yeah, it's just like a heartbeat, and then it's got a little jigsaw piece. So it means,
Love it.
you got puzzling in your heart.
Absolutely. And from what I understand, it's some great cardio because people's hearts beat very, very fast, especially when they're getting down to the wire.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Xanthi, where can people find more about you?
Well, I'm on Instagram and on YouTube under the handle In Two Pieces, and that's IN2 and underscore pieces.
Very nice. We'll drop that in the chat for our spectators. And thank you so much for joining us all the way from Australia and from the future here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Fantastic.
All
And
right.
so, as you can see, we have a couple teams here finishing out strong. A lot of these tables are empty here in the front. I think this will probably be here on our left, our last table.
Yep, we've got squirrely
towards
puzzling.
the front, squirrely puzzling towards the front of the room.
We're looking at one of the 2 WAP teams. So this is the other WAP team.
Yep, there's 2 WAP.
We are puzzling.
Oh, is that what it stands for?
They're coming right up on the end here. Last couple of pieces to put in place. Nice.
WAP. We are puzzling.
Or we are puzzlers, I think is what it officially
We
is.
are puzzlers is what it stands for.
Yep. And I know that we were understaffed on the floor volunteers, but I'm looking around and seeing a number of neon green, yellow vests. So it looks like we got that covered, which is great because once you get even though you get past the first ones, you have that whole field of people where they might finish it all a bunch of different times simultaneously. So it's good to see that we had a bunch of people out there taking the scores and making sure that everybody gets their time fairly reported. And as we talked about, sometimes it's a matter of seconds, and having a good volunteer who's willing to make sure that they're very attentive on the time.
Oh, yeah.
Can make all the difference in where somebody finishes.
Absolutely. And that's why our volunteers really are the backbone of this community, of this event. The Portland Jigsaw Masters, brought to you by a variety of sponsors. We have Good Way Puzzles, we have Cobble Hill Puzzles, and of course, the Portland Puzzle Company putting on this show.
I'm seeing a number of people who are sitting at their tables now busting out the snacks. So now when you're done with your puzzling, it's a
Right.
great time to bust out those snacks.
And that's Karen there. I hope that her family is watching. Karen is one of our volunteers. I got to talking with her at the social a few days ago, and she spontaneously signed up to be here. She didn't see too many events in Spokane where she lives and expanded the search. It brought her here to the Portland Jigsaw Masters. And of course, making friends that are sure to last a lifetime.
Yeah, I was talking with another gentleman. I believe his name is Kevin, who's a volunteer here, who's not a puzzler, or at least not here to compete. He just comes to do the volunteering, and volunteering is actually a great way of being a part of the community, like you said, and getting an experience of the puzzle. You get to watch people finish up close, which the first time I volunteered was at Nationals 2022.
Okay.
And it really solidified the puzzling bug, because Rachel and I had been there we just did pairs and I don't think anything else. So we had some time to volunteer, and we got to see up close and personal what the elite folks do.
Yeah.
We were like, well, that seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. So that sealed the deal for us.
Sure. And as you can see, we are coming up on 2 hours and 6 minutes. I mean, the concentration and the focus. Okay,
Squirrely puzzling.
Squirrely puzzling. They just concluded their run here. 2 hours and 6 minutes. That is a long time to be puzzling, Rob.
It is, yeah, and it really can affect your body, your back especially. At the end of a puzzles like this, if you're having to go 2.5 hours, you're pretty exhausted, especially if you've been able to push the entire time. I've seen a couple of the teams show some exasperation instead of joy when they hit the end, which goes to show what we've sort of been hinting at, is that this puzzle looks like it might be a lot more fun than it is, at least by the time you get midway through it. And so I think that, especially if you're having to work through that over the course of an hour, that's both physically and mentally exhausting. So it can take a lot out of you.
Oh, look, they're noticing themselves on the live stream.
Now is the time for snacks and sipping drinks.
Now is the time, and I'm trying to get a glimpse here at how many teams we might have left. It's kind of hard to tell because the puzzling, it is addicting, Rob. As soon as these teams finish, they get to another table and they just continue to puzzle.
That's right. So we have a lot of tables that are filled with people working on a different puzzle.
But you know what? That doesn't puzzle me at all because I can just tell how much passion runs through their veins for this art and this sport. I gotta say, this is one of the first competitive sports that I've seen that does blend art and sportsmanship. I feel like we don't see a lot of that in different types of sports. But this one, however, between the illustrations and the musicality of the way that the teammates work together, you just can really tell that they have this sort of chemistry and symbiotic flow that keeps everything moving and keeps us intrigued by the art and the sport of speed puzzling.
Yeah, though once you get to sort of like what we're seeing here, where you're looking to figure out what that one piece, how can you just get a toe hold into moving forward? It becomes less about art and speed and more about endurance and grit. And that is absolutely a component of this. As I was talking about before, working through the pit of despair. That's very real. Like my team, we had to talk about how to do that. Like, how do we keep the energy up? How do we keep moving forward? It's a decision you have to make. It just doesn't come necessarily.
There's really so much focus required as well, especially, it seems like everybody, all of these teammates, they really adore one another and they love spending time together and they truly love being with each other in this puzzling community. So, 2 hours and 9 minutes, that's a long time to spend with somebody.
Yeah, you'd have me thinking it would be amusing to watch a team that doesn't like each other. Some angry puzzlers.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, and a lot of times, we've talked to a couple of teams who've sort of assembled themselves at the last minute, but usually a puzzling team is a team you spend a fair amount of time with practicing, getting together, making sure that you're figuring out strategies and approaches that work for you. So it can be a real commitment, especially, if you're not just in it briefly, if you're not primarily a solo puzzler. It can be a lot of together time.
Definitely. Lots of quality time.
But, my team has traveled to a few different locations. We went to Nationals. We went to the Winter Carnival in St. Paul. I always love going to St. Paul in the middle of winter because who doesn't want to be in St. Paul in the middle of winter? It's actually quite nice.
I bet.
But it is a lot of fun to travel with a bunch of folks who all are feeling the same way. You're there to do the same thing. It's been far and long ago since I've ever done any sort of sports things, so I don't recall what that was like anymore. But I imagine that's what that's like. You hop on the bus, you're all going to the same place together, you're all hyping each other up and having a great time.
A puzzling party bus, that would be a sight to behold.
It would probably have a lot of puzzling. It would need tables.
Yeah, I would imagine that, if people are traveling for tournaments any day now, I'm sure that some speed puzzling party buses will be popping up as the community continues to grow.
Yeah, party buses, generally speaking, puzzling people aren't wild and rule breakers, so
really?
Partying tends to be relatively, in my experience anyway, relatively calm.
Well, what if there was a party bus with a big giant table in the middle of it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's a table that you could go puzzle at, like that would be a requirement for any sort of travel you're going to do in a bus.
Absolutely.
But it is a good way to be able to travel, like especially if you have a significant other who's not into traveling, and you find a team or a pair that you really are enjoying being with. It's a great way of going, and like we've talked to a number of puzzlers who are from out of town coming here.
Sure.
They've come here together. Many of them were not from Washington, but were at Washington in the Washington State Championship or Washington State competition. I can't remember if it's a championship or not.
Yeah.
Last week. We'll be in California at some point.
Wow.
So you can spend some time moving around. I had asked actually one of the board members of the USA JPA if she ever thought that her interest in puzzling was going to lead to world travel, and
right?
She's like, no, I did not expect that my interest in puzzling would end up eating all my PTO.
Right, and it may take you all the way to Australia, as
That's
we
right.
heard. And people here in the chat, they're loving the view of the multiple tables at once, so we're going to stay on those. It appears that we have, are these our final 3 tables, perhaps?
That's a great question.
It looks like it might just be, except there might be one additional table here.
Yep, I can see some people puzzling in the background of the main shot here,
Yep,
but I
yep.
can't tell if they're working on the primary puzzle or if they're just here puzzling.
So, Rob, could you speak a little bit? I know that you've mentioned so much about the puzzling community here on the West Coast. Do we know anything about the East Coast speed puzzling scene here in the U.S.?
I am less familiar with the East Coast puzzling scene, but
Sure.
but there definitely is one. So
Okay.
we have a number of people in Connecticut. They have championships there. There are a number of people in Massachusetts. There's we'll be talking tomorrow with a person who is been involved in the Florida Jigsaw Puzzle Association. It is definitely the case that there are more and more people on the East Coast. It may be a very thriving scene. I actually don't have a lot of visibility into that. We see sort of the nexus of competitive jigsaw puzzling. The place that it all really got started is in the Minnesota area,
right?
So Midwest sort of area. So those have much more established communities that have been here for decades in some cases.
Wow. Well, I'll have to do a bit of my own research, Rob, when I go back to the East Coast, kind of scope out the scene there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you would find like a sort of low-key puzzle competition in bars. That's becoming extremely common.
Right.
And so, bar nights, it's great for puzzlers. It's great for the bars. You end up with beer-soaked puzzles, and that's okay. And they have a wide range of levels of enthusiasm, right? Some people are there
Sure.
primarily for the company or to hang out and drink and have an activity.
Right.
Some people are there, they're like, no drinks, no snacks. We're going to work really hard. You can find those kinds of activities increasingly all around the country.
We have a commenter here saying Wicked Quick. I said quicked wick. Wow, it's been a long day. Wicked Quick is on the East Coast. So
True.
It seems like that is that might be a Boston team from what I can assume.
Yep, Wicked Quick is, in fact, as they are described, Wicked Quick, group of 4 puzzlers who are really speedy, and are East Coast related. In fact, the person who is their coach, and I don't know how much to say, lean in and say that it is like a hardcore coaching or just a constant assist. Jim Eakins will be with us tomorrow for both events.
Wow. We have Jigsaw Jessa exiting the building.
I believe you are obsessed.
This
is becoming unhealthy.
I believe that is my runner, as we say in comedy. That is my callback, and I've called it back about 10 too many times.
Well, my understanding, and you know much more about comedy than I do, is that if you say something a few times, it's funny. You say it more, it's not funny, and then you say it a lot more, and it becomes funny again. So.
Yep. So I think I'm in that zone.
The unfunny valley, or are we on the other side?
I think I've made it to the other side, Rob.
Nice. Well, we got 14 minutes left, and I think that based on what we're seeing here, there's a good chance that all of these folks are going to cross the line.
I really do hope so. I hope that everybody is going to complete this puzzle.
It is interesting that it is sort of a nail biter in two different ways in a lot of these competitions, where it's a nail biter right at the front when all the elite competitors are really finishing, and it's a nail biter right at the end where you're hoping that everybody makes it across the line.
Yep.
So you've now had hours and hours and hours of jigsaw puzzling content.
Yes.
How are you feeling about all of this?
You know, I'm overwhelmed in the best way, Rob. I do feel that this is ignite. I mean, I want to just get in there and start to puzzle. I feel like this has been sort of my gateway event. I will be taking a Portland Puzzle Company mystery puzzle home, the one that with all the pieces contained in my puzzle bag. And I'm really excited to give it a go on my kitchen island when I get home and you know, see how I do, especially now having all this data from the competition. I'm interested to see how I stack up with little to no experience against some of these solo competitors, as well as maybe these pairs and these teams.
Love the hats on this team.
Yes, good visors.
So what do you think, how do you think you would do? Just, you've never puzzled, I imagine, thinking about how fast you might go. How fast do you think you might be?
Well, and I have to say, I've also haven't puzzled in maybe 20 years in general. I can't remember the last time I assembled a puzzle. And, you know, I have overcome that shame. I'm here to come out and tell the world that I do not puzzle, but the first day of the rest of my life is now.
And in a safe space.
Yep, I'm in a safe space, and seeing the welcomingness of all of these beautiful people here in Portland at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. I gotta say, I'm relentlessly inspired, Rob, and you know who I'm gonna text my first puzzle to? That would be you, my friend.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I will celebrate.
And I will be texting you my time as well.
It's amazing, yeah.
With evidence and receipts. And then I'll go and enter my data online.
And I would
That's
not be
Twizzler
surprised
team.
if, like, next year, come around here, you're telling us that you're bringing a team, you're going to Worlds.
It's very possible. It's very possible. I mean, you know, I need some new hobbies, Rob.
I feel like that may not be true.
Yeah, actually, you're right. But you know what? I think that this is a hobby that is will probably be very healthy for me and my ADHD. I do find that, you know, occasionally, especially with the work that I do, you have to be present on social media. You have to be kind of using your phone often and looking at blue light a lot. But it seems that with this type of activity, it's very therapeutic, and you know, you hyperfixate and get in a real flow state when you really get in the zone. And so, you know, I think this is a really beautiful event, and really has ignited and intrigued piqued my interest, so to speak.
Yeah, I've talked to a number of people with ADHD who find this is a therapeutic release and a thing that they can kind of go to and, as you said, sort of pour their energy into and get really focused on something.
Yeah.
Saw a very young competitor there for just a second. It's interesting that a lot of the up-and-comers on the scene are actually quite young. So I was talking with the gentleman we saw earlier with the Jigsaw, with the Rubik's Cube, and he was talking about how in the speed Rubik's Cube community, most of the folks who are really good are under 12.
Oh, wow.
And we're starting to see that kind of trend emerge. It's really early days. We'll see if it actually stands, but that kind of trend seems to be emerging in competitive jigsaw puzzling as well.
Which is great. We need the Gen Alphas.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that far from being an old lady's of activity.
Yeah.
This is, generally speaking, a younger person's activity. It's like younger in terms of like people in their 20s or early 30s are the ones who are taking it up and really embracing it. And then behind them are folks in their early 20s, their teens, and even before that.
Well, and I can only imagine, especially with the adrenaline and the reward system in your brain, you know, the dopamine hits that you must get when you're partaking in an activity like this, especially at a young and tender age. I imagine that you're going to want to keep beating your time, and it's a great way to probably exercise, you know, those sort of mind-body connections as well.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen for me a lot, but when it does, I really enjoy the state of flow that one gets in, and like
Yeah.
time just kind of melts away.
Love it.
Everything feels fluid. You're hitting all the right moments in all the right places, and I'm not particularly fast, so I don't end up with amazing times, but just that experience is worth
Absolutely.
having.
Absolutely, Rob.
Down to 2, is that where we're? I can see two different teams out here. So
Well, maybe we can get that scoreboard back up. I'm not sure how updated we are, but I imagine that it's pretty up to date and we can get an accurate representation. So it looks like there's 3 teams actively puzzling at the moment.
yeah, we've got a lot of white pieces with little bits of color on that.
Yeah. So if we scroll down, so I see 35 teams
Yeah, I think that's where we are. We're at
right.
35.
out of how many teams did we have, Rob?
That's a great question. I have 48 on my list. I did see when you were announcing
were some
the
empty
teams, there were
tables.
some empty tables.
Yep.
I didn't see that many empty tables, so that would suggest to me that we still have something like 10 out there. But I'm looking around and I do not see
think
anything
so.
even close to 10 out there.
So maybe there were more empty tables than we thought. So it looks like we are about 7 minutes and some change away from calling time. Do we think they're all going to finish it out?
Well, certainly the group that we're looking at in the main screen here
Yeah.
looks like they're going to do it.
Moments
Lower
away.
left also looks like they're going to do it. Can't quite tell. I love the shirts, by the way. The flaming
flames.
on the lower right.
Another one of the Fs.
Yeah, nice job.
Right. With one of our junior competitors here today.
And
Love the green.
A lot of places have junior divisions for the puzzling, so folks want to do a smaller piece count and not have to enter the adult level competition and have to do more intense competition. That is available out there.
Lots of sweet moments happening here on the floor. We are moments away from seeing this team puzzle
pitches.
Very funny. They're really all pitching in.
Yeah. They're down to just filling out those white spaces with the little bits of color on it.
Seems like a familiar trend here, Rob.
It does. Those white gap fillers are really the ones that
Yeah.
you just put them off and you put them off and you put them off and then that's what you have. It does look like, as I'm looking at those pieces, they all seem to have a little bit of a halo near them, or they're part of a puzzle piece that maybe the other part is already in there. So it once you get to this point, it does seem like there are a lot of hints that help you get them in there, because sometimes you just end up with a big splotch of like black or something like that, and then
Sure.
there's no hint as to where things go, and so you're just constantly trying to fit them in there. Got the
Final
last
piece
couple
goes
ones in there.
Very nice.
Nice
Well
job,
done.
puzzle pitches.
I love the way that they hit the table when they've completed their puzzle.
Yeah, well, in the Portland weekly competitions here, it is definitely the case that we're exuberant, and a way that people indicate that they are done is to pound the table. So that can be
Right.
really alarming for people who are not
Especially
used to
the
that.
pounding puzzlers.
The pounding puzzlers, exactly. So it does catch people by surprise when you hear somebody slam a table and yell that they're done, but that is the way that we do it. All right.
We are coming up on almost the end of our second day here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters. What a day it's been.
Okay, everybody, we're coming up on the 5-minute mark.
5-minute mark.
5 more minutes to go.
It has been quite the eventful past 2 days. And of course, before we round out these 5 minutes, I will be departing after today. I gotta say, Rob, thank you so much. It has been an absolute pleasure to observe and enjoy the performances here we've seen on the floor at the Portland Jigsaw Masters here in 2025. I hope that the Portland Puzzle Company will have me back next year. And if I have anything to do with it, I may just compete.
Well, I think Uncle Lane will probably invite you back. And it has been a delight and a pleasure to have you with us. This has been a great experience all the way around. I appreciate all the enthusiasm,
Absolutely.
the questions that you bring. This has been great. I will miss you tomorrow.
Aw.
We have some great guests tomorrow, but they're not going to be able to fill your shoes. So
Aw.
it's great to have had you.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm happy to be that missing piece
Ha!
of the puzzle.
Nice.
But I will.
This would be a good time for us to fade to black, but unfortunately.
Yeah, this would be a good time to kick me out forever. But we do have about 4 minutes on the clock
nice
here.
Job.
All right. I'm not sure if that was our final team or not. Nope. It looks like we have one more on the floor in the green shirts over there.
Yeah.
2 more teams.
2 more teams going.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we're not going to get those ones across the line, unfortunately.
Oh.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Puzzlers. Did you
I don't-
read that one?
I did not read that one, so it must have been a last-minute change-up.
Interesting. That would have been fun to hear you say.
Well, I'll say it now.
Okay, great.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled puzzlers, coming in number 37th place.
Whereas Team 38 is 37.
37.5.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually almost like they knew that they weren't quite going to be 37.
Well, I
but they
mean-
don't want to be 38.
37.5 does round up to 38. So
It sure
they
does.
landed right where.
And that is how you manifest your dreams, people.
I
here at
am
the Portland
calling my
Jigsaw
team number
Masters.
1.
Yeah, from now on, it's number 1 or nothing.
All right, down to the final 2 minutes and some change.
Wow.
Yeah, this is where you're just hunting and pecking for stuff. You're picking up the pieces, like you're doing some hardcore inspection. Do I know where this goes? Nope. Move on to other things. This is where a challenge you can run into is that you might find yourself picking up those pieces a lot. We were talking about puzzle jail earlier.
Absolutely.
If you don't have an approach to how you pick up and put back down, then you're going to pick things up from one place, put them down in another place, and then maybe pick right back up from that same area.
Right.
Which doesn't help you if you're trying to figure out how to do things. My team has a unique method, which you can have a unique method when you're going slower, called the swirl, where once we get to a certain phase, we will pick up a piece, and then if we can't place it, we put it in front of the person to our right. And then that person has whatever piece is in front of them
Right.
to pick from, and everybody picks and moves to the right, picks and moves to the right, picks and moves to the right. And so that keeps the puzzles from being in one place for a long period of time.
Sure.
And that allows other people to see that piece that may have been on the other side. It's got all kinds of disadvantages. I super do not recommend it for most people. But it is a way that we manage to try and keep the puzzle freshness,
Right.
the perspective fresh. That whole that whole side between the edge and where the first couple of cats are, a lot of emptiness there.
All right, we're coming up. Nearly only 1 minute remains. Couple teams out here with several pieces still. I'm sure that my Uncle Lane will be getting on the mic here any moment to announce 1 minute, or his ADHD took over and he is nowhere to be found.
I'm sure he'll be around for the countdown. I see him
There
over
he
there.
is. He's shuffling through his papers and panicking. That is how we do it here at the Portland Jigsaw Masters.
I've never seen Lane panic, so.
Oh, there he goes. Well, now here's your moment.
All right, we got a team with a puzzle tray, the classic puzzle tray.
We've got about 30 seconds on the clock, and I don't know that Lane is making the announcement. We will see. Better get in there, Uncle
Got a
Lane.
3,000 piece puzzle going on in the background. It's just been in the venue the entire time, so
Right.
folks can go.
Okay,
pick it up and play.
15 seconds to go.
Wow. Really snuck up
All
on
right,
him
we're
there.
going to do a countdown here. Everybody,
Don't sound
to
too
the end of the
excited.
day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Puzzler's hands
Hey!
up. Wow.
Congratulations
beautiful day
to everybody who
Great job,
made it through.
great job, everybody.
Congratulations,
All right,
everyone.
for those of you that have a few left, we're going to go ahead and count the pieces that you have remaining, and that's how we're going to be able to score you and rank you. So just go ahead and count. One thing I want to remind everybody that if you have 3 or more pieces put together, they count. Okay, so only count the ones that are 2 or less, or 1.
All right, sounds like we're getting to
Okay,
the
and after we
counting
get
phase.
done with that, we're going to bring out the special sprint. It's a 70-piece puzzle. It's going to take us, it's going to be very exciting to see how quick 70 pieces can be put together.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have almost 100 people signed up for that. So, wow.
So I
All
don't
right,
believe
thanks.
we'll be on
talk
the
to you in
stream
a bit.
for our sprint. So it is now come time to say goodbye. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Portland Jigsaw Masters team final. My name is Carly Craig. It has been an absolute delight to join you for the past 2 days here in Portland, my first time in Portland. And thank you so much, of course, to the Portland Puzzle Company and my Uncle Lane for having me as co-host to this event. Rob, it's been an absolute pleasure this weekend.
Nepo baby or not, it's been a delight. I've appreciated having every moment with you. The next event that we have coming up is Duels Finals tomorrow. That starts at 9:30 local time. We will have Jim Eakins on as our expert for the first hour. So please, if you're on the stream now, check us out tomorrow. I'm Rob Shields. You can follow me at peace_talks.
And I'm Carly Craig. Don't forget to follow me as well at Carly, C-A-R-L-I-E, Craig, C-R-A-I-G. Bye.
Bye, everybody.